Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Friendly Game. Gonzo, how is oneself?
I'm feeling very friendly, my friend. How are you? Feeling friendly?
No, feeling hungover. I am hanging this morning. Yeah, I haven't shook it. I've not been able to shake it yet. So I'm struggling a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually West Ham's final friendly before we take on Arsenal next Monday.
Which won't be friendly.
That won't be friendly at all. It's not going to be fun either.
No.
Before I give you the team, Gonzo, are you looking forward to it?
I am very much. Actually, I am. To be fair, I am. I'm looking forward to it so much I paid for it twice.
Oh.
Accidentally, because what it does is you click on it to pay for it, the £5, and then you said you either put your bank details in or you can go PayPal. I'll pay by PayPal. That's what I'll do. It takes you to PayPal. You log into PayPal. Yes. Okay. So you basically put on the submit, and then what it does, it returns you back to merchant, which takes, but not right. It takes you right back to the page where it says click on here to buy the match. So I clicked on it again. I basically paid twice. So that's how much I'm looking forward to.
I nearly fell for that. I went to buy now. Oh, for those tuning in that don't know, you can watch today's game, but it costs you a £5. According to the club, they can't show it for free because of their rights restrictions. So you've got to pay a £5 or £10 in Gonzo's case. But go onto the West Ham website, you can pay for it there. But be careful, because I almost fell for a similar thing to Gonzo. I went pay now. Yeah, put in my card details. I said, Nationwide app needs to authorise a payment of £0 to West Ham. So I thought, hey, maybe I'm getting this for free. So I pushed it. Then it said, done now. Go back to your retail. So I went back on the web page. I'm doing it on my phone. And it was there, pay now. I thought, hang on a minute, why has it not gone through? So I scrolled to manage subscriptions, and it was there, Fulham game. I thought, it's come up, I've paid for it.
There's a lot of people will have paid twice, and some people have paid three times today. When it does return to merchant, it's meant to return you back from before you do the purchasing procedure. I'm sure it's not intentional. However, I would like all my money, additional money donated to Ben Johnson. Well, I was going to say Ben Johnson's wages, basically, because he's been on supplements for the past couple of years.
Yes, Danielle, it is a friendly, final friendly before we take on Arsenal. Now, the West Ham team this afternoon, starting at Craven Cottage, is Lucas Fabianski in goal, with the back four of Vladimir Coufal, Craig Dawson, Angelo Ogbonna, and Emerson. Souček partners Manuel Lanzini in midfield, with Fornals, Bowen, and Ben Rama playing behind Gianluca Scamacca. And what I will say is that is maybe not with Downs, but apart from Downs, that's the strongest team available to David Moyes today. The World Cup players are still missing, so there's no Declan Rice or Lucas Paqueta or Thilo Kehrer. And we'll get onto the bench in a second, but just for confirmation, no Aaron Cresswell on the bench and no Maxwell.
Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, gee, honestly, I was feeling a little bit festive about that. I really was. I was thinking, Christmas time, Maxwell. Christmas comes but once a year, which, funny enough, is ironically probably once more than Maxwell Cornet will play this year. I can't believe it. And I can't believe it. Honestly. Oh, dear, I'll tell you what, that's next week's video sorted out.
Yes, Maxwell Cornet remains AWOL. But that's the starting 11, Gonzo. Moyes' strongest 11 on paper of what's available to him today. Like I said, we can dispute whether Downs should be in there or not. I mean, it's pretty weak.
It is. So obviously Downs is on the bench, you're suggesting. Yeah. Okay. It is weak. It's particularly looking weak at centre-back there. Not because Ogbonna... Well, yeah, let's just say as it is. He's not the player he was. He doesn't look quite up to it this season for obvious reasons, because he had a serious injury, unlike some players we could mention. And, so it does have that sort of weak look about it. You've got Coufal there, whose middle name is Ofsky. Coufal, Vladimir Ofsky Coufal. Emerson, who's the meal deal. We call him meal deal at Hammers Chat. You'd have to be a patron to understand why. And there we go. It's hard to take it all seriously, but I'm feeling very friendly about this friendly, Geo.
I think you're feeling festive as well, but I think it's a good team from Moyes in the regards that I like the fact that he's putting out his what he considered to be his main 11 and stuff. Get us ready for next Monday. I was hoping maybe we'd see. I was hoping we'd maybe see one or two of the World Cup players back. I know it is possibly a little bit too soon, but I was a little bit hopeful that the players would have said, "Hang on, Gaffer, it's the last friendly before the Arsenal game. I'm available for this one. I'll be free, even if they hadn't participated in training. It's not like we're working on tactics to beat Fulham in a friendly, is it? So Declan Rice essentially could have done no training and then appeared today and been available. So yeah, I guess it's good for the players that's there. That Fornals has got a chance to sort of claim a shirt maybe for the Arsenal game, and I'd like to think
he can take Cornets if he wants.
Well, I'm thinking he's trying to get after Paqueta's. Personally, Soufal should feel that there's a place to be had from Thilo Kehrer. So yeah, it's a strong team from West Ham. But what are you hoping to see from that team?
Look, and I am feeling remarkably silly, I've got to say, about the whole Cornet thing. That's interesting, isn't it? Given our guys, by the way, I don't mind our guys having a rest. I really don't. I think that's fine. If they've deemed that Trippier should feature, then fine. And let's be fair, once Walker got in the team, Trippier didn't really feature anyway, did he? So whatever. I don't mind.
Kehrer didn't play that much for Germany either.
No, but I do sort of get it. If you're going to give Paqueta and Rice, you might as well just give them. I mean, let's be fair. Ariola done nothing, has he? But so there's no reason for him not to come back for training. They don't do anything anyway. They just stand around, goalkeepers, don't they? So
don't get me wrong. I think they're entitled to a rest, and I understand why they're taking it. But I reckon Kieran Trippier is entitled to a rest. I think Kieran Trippier is captain of Newcastle United. Said, No, thanks, Gaffer. I'm going to come in. I'm going to come in early because the Premier League resumes on Boxing Day, and we've got a top 4 challenge going on here. And I'm coming in. I'm going to be ready.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be right. And we're signing that Harrison Ashby bloke, so I don't want him nicking me place as well. So he's probably said that to Eddie Howe. This is an important game actually, because Fulham. A decent, and it's quite funny actually, because we've been linked with a couple of the same players to Fulham. I know it's just transferred tittle tattle and stuff like that. How quickly the mighty have fallen. We were challenging. It was only 6 months ago. We were challenging Real Madrid for players. Now we're battling out with Fulham, right? But if you were a foreign player and you didn't know an awful lot about the Premier League, you might take a little cursory glance at the Premier League now. And if it was Fulham or West Ham, you probably just look at it and think, okay, right, well. Right, okay, so just tell me a little bit more about them. So they're both London clubs. Oh, okay, and that one's got a Portuguese manager. I might, because we've been linked with another Brazilian player, basically. I might think I'll just go to Fulham. Fulham have done all right. And I know we beat them, but I think it sort of bucked the trends a little bit. I think they're quite a good cohesive team this season. I think it will be a decent test for us. And I think we need to take it really seriously. I'll be so worried if that is the composition of our midfield when we line up against Arsenal. I think because of that, it's not an overly productive practice match for us in terms of midfield. I think that might be a slight worry. We may well need this in terms of defence because that might, you hope not, but that might look reasonably like the defence that we have to play. The midfield is a massive worry. And
but we know Rice will play against Arsenal.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. You certainly
I would accept that Kehler's possibly going to play against Arsenal. But like you said, out of Soufal, Dawson, Ogbonna and Emerson, 3 of them will be starting against Arsenal as well, possibly. Yeah. It depends on Creswell's injury, but with a week to go, he's unavailable for this one. So it's very possible that that is 4 of our back 5, including the keeper there, that's going to play Arsenal. It's just Kehrer goes in. It's just a case of who does he go in for? Does he go in for Soufal or does he go in for Ogbonna? It'll be one of those two. So, a lot of the players playing today will start against Arsenal. I'm looking at it now. Souček will start. Ben Rama, Bowen, Skamaka, they'll start as well. So you're only really going to put in Kehrer, Rice for Lanzini and Ogbonna. And then we can have a debate as to whether Moyes is going to put Paqueta in for Fornals or keep Fornals in for the Arsenal game and use Paqueta against Brentford a few days later. So that is what I think. 8 of those will be starting against Arsenal, I think. And like I said, when you look at it, it just feels a bit weak for some reason. It just feels a little bit underwhelming.
Well, we better play well today. I mean, I'm not even suggesting we necessarily have to win, but we better play well and we better see something else That's quite key, because whatever it is we've been doing, or whatever you think we've been doing so far this season, it ain't worked. So I want to see something else here. They've had time on the training ground. They've had time to drill some new tactics, or whatever the case may be, or even if it's just to get some form in. I just want to see something else in this game. And we don't have to win. I'll be, in many respects, you know what, 3-3 where we play really well. Granted, that'll give us problems with the defence, but something. I want to see something different today.
Yeah, I forgot about Aguerd. Aguerd will be fine for the Arsenal game. I imagine he would be. If he was set to start for Morocco up until the last minute, he must be pretty fit, just not quite comfortable enough to play. He might play today. Morocco play today against Croatia, and for that third place. I mean, most pointless game in football, in my opinion. But
yeah.
I mean, who wants to play in that game?
You want to go home? Just want to go home. Yeah,
I know you gutted. You just missed out in the final, but you got one more game. You're what we're competing for to finish third. What's the point? What's the point? So Aguerd may feature today for Morocco, but even if I hope he doesn't, I hope they wrap him up and keep him safe. And I think I've got a feeling he'll be okay for Arsenal, actually, given that he was so close to starting that game. As the joke says, are we playing 4-1, 2-2-1? I think it's more of a 4-2-3-1. I think Fornals will be in that number 10 role in between Bowen and Benrahma. That's what we played. I mean, this is the front four that we saw against Udinese. The only change to the midfield as well is Lanzini's coming for Downs. I think that's the starting 11, actually. Yeah, that was the starting 11 against Udinese. One change.
Okay.
In place of Downs. The other 10 played against Udinese from the start. I'll do the bench, actually. I've just clocked there's someone missing.
Okay, whilst you're reading that out, I've seen a couple of people ask. I'm actually going to post the link. Okay, I'm going to post a link to the game here. The game is not being streamed, but you can watch it on the West Ham website, basically. Which I'm going to post a link in here. So it is being
streamed then in Nupty.
Okay, all right, yes, all right. It's being streamed. You're all right. It is being streamed, but I don't think you're going to necessarily go and find a stream. It's not like someone's nicking the Sky Sports stream.
No.
So I'm just going to post it in here, right?
It does cost £5.
It costs £5. Please be careful you don't pay it twice. It's a little bit sneaky, the procedure. So what it'll take you to PayPal, you pay the £5, then what it'll do is it'll kick you back to the West Ham website. It will look like you haven't bought it. All right? You have. All right, so just go and check your PayPal before you go and pay the £5 again, like I did. Basically, I paid for it twice. Geo almost paid for it twice. That's a lot of people have paid for it twice. I'm
Scottish, though. I didn't fall for that. I went back to my roots and heritage and culture and stopped myself. But if you don't want to pay for it, you can't watch it. Charlie's going to be watching it and doing a watch along, so you can interact with him in the live chat and other West Ham fans, and he'll tell you what's going on in the game, kind of thing. And we'll be doing our reviews after the game on this channel, the forum channel, whatever, so you can pick up what Gonzo thinks. Tomorrow I'll be doing live at full time, so you can hear what we think of the game as well. The bench for West Ham, let's take a look at that then, and I'll tell you who's missing. We've got Randolph and Hedgate, 2 goalkeepers, of course. We've also got Ben Johnson, Flynn Downs, Connor Coventry. And then it's into the youngsters. We've got Ekwa, Ashby, Lang, Sawyer, Potts, Forbes, and with Bama. So the player that's missing, I forgot about, is Michail Antonio.
Someone did mention earlier on in the chat, actually. I was just waiting. I didn't comment on it because I presumed he'd be on the bench.
No Antonio. So no Creswell, no Antonio, no Maxwell Cornet, no World Cup players either. So we're missing quite a few players today, to be fair. But no Antonio. So he must have an injury as well, which is far from ideal a week before your Premier League game.
No, it's all right, though. It's all right. We'll be all right. We'll steamroll Arsenal, buy lots of players in January. It'll all be fine. Maxwell Cornet will come back and he'll make a late run for PFA Player of the Season, and they'll get the record for most consecutive games. And that'll be brilliant. It'll be fine.
And thank you to GP. Says, lovely Christmas jumper, Gonzo. Where's Geo's? Mine's over there somewhere.
Thank you.
I'll tell you why I'm not wearing it, and now I'll feel bad saying this because Gonzo might feel bad. Is because Monday's our last postal day, and we get the stuff gets picked up from my house on a Monday and a Thursday. So Monday is the last postal day from Hammer's Chat. Everything gets sent track 48, so it should arrive on Wednesday. but I'm not comfortable saying that at the minute with everything that's happened at the Royal Mail. So I don't really want to be sending out Christmas jumpers. I will send them out on Monday, but there's no guarantee you'll have them for Christmas Day. That's all. So I'm a little bit hesitant to sort of do that. So if everything that's been ordered up until Monday 2 p.m. will go on Monday. Track 48, so it should all arrive on Wednesday. But like I said, we all know what's happening at Royal Mail. We don't need to go into it. It's disrupted deliveries. So there you go. Right. Well, the good thing is, Kate loves her jumper. So that's good.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Right, the Fulham team. Let's have a little look at the Fulham side that will be facing West Ham at Craven Cottage this afternoon. Kickoff just 13 minutes away. In goal is Leno. They've gone quite a strong team, actually. Tete, right back. And then they've got Adebayo in the middle. I love how Fulham's graphic people just put Tossin. They don't even type out his surname. They're like, bucket that. It's just, it's a Diop.
Tossin Tete.
Diop is also centre back, and Tim Ream is left back, another player who was at the World Cup, of course, with the United States. In midfield, they've got Reid and Tom Kearney, who West Ham were linked to for about 4 seasons in a row.
Right. That's right.
Do you remember? It should
be I might be about 100 by now, but yeah.
And then they're attacking 3 in midfield. They've got Bobby Reid, they've got Andreas Pereira, and they've also got Willian. And up front, they've got Vinicius.
I saw him in the World Cup. He was good.
Oh, bloody hell. That was quite good. I'll give you that one. That one was quite quick. Well done. Okay. The substitutes, let's just run into them as well. For Fulham this afternoon is Rodak, McNally, Mbabu, Duffy, McAvoy, Shaloba, Onoma, Haddis, Wilson, James, Dan James, that is another player at the World Cup, back for Fulham today, and McFarlane as well. So a strong side from Fulham, missing a few players, but a relatively strong Fulham
was the
side.
The striker was there. What's his name? Old
Mitrovic. Yeah, he was at the World Cup, and he's not there. So
yeah. Okay, yeah. Good. Probably no bad thing.
They're also missing the Portuguese midfielder. What's his name? Polina. What's his name? Charlie will tell me. They're missing their Portuguese centre midfielder that's bloody good, so he's not there either. So there you go. There's your Fulham team.
Cybeaks on the West Ham website. I'll just scroll up in the chat, mate. Just scroll up in the chat because we've been through it twice already, matey. But it's on the West Ham website. The link is above. If you scroll up in the chat, link's above you.
Right, it's time to see what you're all saying. So get your thoughts in, relevant to today's game, of course. It could be the West Ham team, what you're hoping to see happen, what you're hoping not to see during the game as well. Just 9 days till we take on Arsenal. We'll get your thoughts into the live chat and we'll have a little look at what you're saying. Gonzo, I want to see a goal from Skamaka today. I think it's important. Yes. There you go, Polina. That's him. We need to get Skamaka up and running. I think he's looked lively in the 2 friendlies so far, had 100 shots, could have had a couple of hat-tricks all in all against Cambridge and Udinese. So it's not like he's not had the chances, but we need to get him a goal or 2. And I can sense a desperation from him to try and get a goal. He looks desperate to score, which I guess is good. But the problem is when players are like that and they don't score, desperation turns to frustration very, very quickly. And we've seen it with him at West Ham already in league games where if things aren't going his way, it can get a little bit stroppy. So I want to see him on the score sheet. Another good game from Ben Ram and Bowen would be encouraging as well. And
yes,
the defence, the problem for the defence, and I'm talking about the centre backs here, is they could both have man of match performances today. It won't increase my confidence in them whatsoever. I will take that with a pinch of salt. They've worried me so far. So yeah, it's all about getting Skamaka on this score sheet as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and well, it's not just, is it? It's not just him sulking. I feel the sulk happens more with a lack of service. He may find himself doing is snatching at chances, and not hitting them as true or as accurately as he might usually do. We need it. We need it. We need that front 3 that you mentioned there. It's actually quite funny, isn't it, really, when you think about the... sorry, let me finish my sentence. That front 3 there are going to be vital if West Ham are going to do well going forward for the rest of the season. And the reason I say that front 3 is because of Antonio. And this is what I was going to say was funny, is when you consider that Antonio, how much not only we relied on him last season, but how reliable he was last season. Maybe not in terms of output all the time, but last season, by and large, Antonio stayed fit all season. No one predicted that. Nobody. So I think it was whatever they did, the medical team and all of that, they did a remarkable job. I think it's clear that this season, for whatever reason, he is not, as he's already missed a little chunk where he wasn't available for. He seems to be missing today as well. I'm not sure he's quite, even this season, as reliable as he was last season. Plus, he's not featuring as well. So this is going to be really important for that reason, that Scamacca is fit and firing, and maybe it might be reason enough to look at trying doing something else in the window, even if it's such as another attacker on loan. We did think, let's be fair, that Cornet was going to be that third choice for striker. We thought Cornet will be able to fill in for Bowen, play on the left, and could be almost a third choice striker. I think you have to rule him out, for all joking aside, for obvious reasons.
Jay says it will be a tough game today, while John would prefer to see Flynn Downs in the starting lineup. I think he'll be a half-time sub, though. I think he's been... I feel so far, 2 games, I feel Benrahma and Downs as the 2 players, for whatever reason, Moyes is happy to not really give loads of minutes to. I don't think maybe he feels they don't need them. But certainly, last week, Downs came up at half-time against Cambridge. Benrahma was on the bench, then came on, and he got sucked off last week as well at half-time, Benrahma. Yeah, I think he did, because Fornals went out on the left and Antonio went up front with Scamacca. So I think Moyes has been looking after them too for some reason. Maybe he sees Downs key to what he wants to do, but do I have confidence in that? Not really. But I think we'll see plenty minutes for Downs today. I'd imagine most of starting 11 will get 90 minutes today, or 80 minutes maybe, and a few of the youngsters will get on for a run out as well.
It'd be nice to see a couple of youngsters, wouldn't it? Be really. I mean, Skulls, we know, and you did your video in the week, and obviously signed his new contract and whatnot. So it's nice to see him. Interesting if to see Ashby.
He's not on the bench.
I thought Skulls was. He was in that initial graphic.
Was he?
I thought so.
Charlie, put the bench up. I don't remember reading them out.
I don't.
Maybe Charlie Skiven. Yeah.
I
don't remember reading it out.
Stand bench. I thought he was.
No,
sorry, that's my fault. I read Sawyer as Skulls. But
I put the team back up. Yeah. The main lineups.
Hold on, bloody hell! This
it's down the bottom.
There you go.
It's got you've not got the Fulham one there. Hang on, let me sort this out.
I do apologise. I did that because John didn't know the team, so I wanted to pop it up for John, and I sort of mucked it up. So there you go. That's technology for you.
Mubama, I'm looking forward to seeing Mubama. At the end of the day, there's a chance. He's got a chance. If he comes on today for 10 minutes and plays well, it's possible he will be on the bench against. If Antonio's not fit, he's got to be on the bench. You've got to have a striker on the bench, regardless of who you're playing. You've got plenty spaces on there.
I would like that, Geo. I would really like it. I'd like to think he did. I don't know. I don't believe you, but I don't want to. It's not you pledging something to me. I don't think it will happen. I would love it to happen, though. I've got to say
it will. I think it's important because also the possibility is it's quite possible against Arsenal. We might find ourselves with 10 minutes to go. We might find ourselves 3-0 down, and then just put him on. But
he won't. He won't. I agree. I agree with you.
Stupid if we don't.
It is stupid. Stupid, and that's frustrating. He's banging. He's absolutely banging the goals in. Look, we've got to go in a minute. Before we do, happy birthday, mate. Very, very happy birthday.
Yeah, we do have to get off soon. Right, let me fly through some comments, Gonzo. Alan says he wants to see enthusiasm. Some players who want to keep a shirt when the others get back from the World Cup. I want to see Moyes try something different, but there's more chance of seeing Rudolph. Well, he's on the bench anyway. No. Right, let's keep going. Mark said we'd like to see the manager swap teams.
Wouldn't that be funny?
No, it would not be funny.
Wouldn't it be funny? What a great thing to do at half time. That would be brilliant. Oh, honestly, like that Formula One, they say actually give the best driver the slowest cards for one race each season. That's oh mate, that is gold dust. I'd love to see that.
Well, you could have a chat to the bloke in charge of FIFA at the minute because he's coming up with wild ideas as well. Have you seen that World Club Cup in 2025? I think it's starting.
No.
Have you not seen it?
No.
Oh, how have you not seen it? FIFA are starting a new club tournament, the World Club Cup. And so we'll have the Euros one summer. The next summer, we've got the World Club Cup. And the next summer, we've got the World Cup. So the players just won't get a rest now. That has to play. I don't know how you've not seen it. It'll piss you off. This type of thing that really ruffle your feathers.
I'm not even turning the telly on for 2 or 3 days.
But it might actually impact us eventually. I know at the minute, while we're 16th in the league, it's hard to say this, but because they're going to put the Europa League winners in there, it's possible they'll put the Europa Conference League winners in there as well as Champions League winners, the Asian Champions League winners, etc., etc. So he wants a 32-team World Club Cup.
So they're desperately trying to stay relevant, and I mean they are.
Yeah,
it's like watching. Literally, you're witnessing an organisation dying and doing everything they can to stop those top clubs leaving.
Tennant says, "Watch for foul service today. I'm expecting a very good match from the wee Czech." Mick says, "No Creswell. Is he still injured?" Yes. Got a win today to boost the morale. Ionix, yeah, happy birthday. I just seen that. Gonzo's already done it. Cutter says that shame Scars isn't on the bench after signing his new deal. Really want to see more of him. There'll be a reason for it. The youngsters might have a game or something. I don't actually know. Dash Dog, please stop spamming the chat. You've asked 100 times how to watch it, and we've told you 100 times previously. Go to the West Ham website. You've got to pay a £5, but go to the West Ham website. It is on there. Scott's just commenting about how we still don't know where Cornet is. And Christian says our centre back pairing is frightening and not in a good way. There you go. Gonzo's been playing around with the Maxwell Cornet graphics over the last couple of weeks. Are you going to bring out another one?
I think I should. I actually, you know what I'd do? If he doesn't feature, what I'm going to do is maybe once he's every 2 or 3 days, actually do like a Where's Wally thing. And I might just go, don't take long, put Maxwell Cornet in there. We'll just have to, I mean, what can you do? Have a laugh, otherwise I get frustrated about it, really.
Yeah.
Maybe Charlie knows where he is.
Yeah, he is. Charlie, do you know where Cornet is?
He's about. He's probably, I don't know, he's probably at the training ground having a little sit down or something. I don't know. I'm not as frustrated about it.
I actually think you should do this, Gonzo. I think you should go like Monday. I think you should go outside the training ground and just wait and just film the players coming in when it is Maxwell.
We're here outside of West Ham. So have you seen Maxwell Cornet?
I'm thinking you do it like a full-on clickbait YouTube documentary style thing, like lots of dramatic music, unnecessary graphics. Title it "Finding Maxwell Cornet." I think there's a banger in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've got to get up the training ground on Monday now.
Can't I just do it like in the park, round the corner?
Well, that won't work, will it?
Well, we're not going to find. I'm not going to find him in the training grounds anymore.
You've got to film him driving in and just get really excited. The fact that you've found Maxwell Cornet.
Nah, you can't half-ass this, Gonzo. Who are you? Cornet. You've got to put the effort in. Come on.
I want you there with an Ivory Coast flag and everything.
Christmas, at least I know which night he's going to arrive. Do you know what I mean?
Wait, hang on a minute. It's 1 o'clock. Bloody hell. Right, Gonzo.
I wouldn't worry about it. There's no one even on the pitch right now. I wouldn't worry too much.
Okay, right. Well, Charlie, I'm going to go as well. I need to get my iPad and get it on. Charlie, enjoy the watch along. Don't go anywhere. Charlie's here with you for the duration of 90 minutes. I'll be back at half time for a little blather with Charlie, and I'll be back at full time to give my review of the game. But yes, Fulham West Ham kickoff. Well, it should have kicked off by now, but hopefully we're only a minute or two away. I'll catch you in a bit, Charlie.
See ya. Enjoy yourself. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Gonzo suggesting half-assing it there. I was very angry. I'm like, just get it done, bruv. Just do it. Probably. Hello. How are we all? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. As I said, there's no one actually on the pitch yet, so I wouldn't be worried too much about being late. I do have the stream up. If you are wondering for a way to watch it, it is available on the West Ham United website. It's on the app. It's on the official website. I'm watching it on the website. You have to pay a £5 because of reasons that don't really make sense. So hopefully it'll be a nicely produced one. We'll see. But currently I can't see a single footballer, so that might be different. However, that is how you watch it. However, you're looking for another way to watch it. If there is, now I understand that there might not be currently because honestly, whenever it's on a club website like this and you have to pay, it's usually slightly more difficult to find a stream. But if there is one, you will be able to find it over on our Discord. If you scroll into the description below, go down there, what you'll find in there is a bit called Join Our Discord. Click on that, completely free to join. Lovely Hams Chat, West Ham community. However, it's more importantly on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, you'll find a bit called Stream Links. And if they are available, you will find them there. However, the teams are walking out, ladies and gentlemen. It might be slightly late, but they are doing it. This is a friendly. I don't think timekeeping is that important. Good to see you, Obsidian Curse. How are you? Is this being played at Fulham? Yes, it is. It is at Craven Cottage, a relatively empty Craven Cottage. It's quite cold. I wouldn't blame people not for going, to be honest with you. Nuno is running wild in the chat. Good to see you, Nuno. I hope you're well. Muppets in Spaces. Well, there you go, Stephen. I would, I'm not going to lie to you. Potentially would prefer watching that. Well, it's not Christmas Carol. If it was Christmas Carol, then maybe Muppets in Space. Still good, but not quite the top one. Jamie, good to see you. Hope all is well. I'm all right. I'm still recovering from my illness. I'm still every so often just having a bit of a problem with it, and I'm very cold. Very cold. Our boiler broke yesterday, so we literally can't put the heating on even if we wanted to or could afford to. So I'm quite cold, but apart from that, I'm good. I hope you're well. I saw Hams Down Under somewhere, so I can't see a comment now, HDU, but I saw it somewhere. Hello. Right. The lineups today, just in case you joined late and you haven't seen them yet, the lineups today are as such. I'll have them running along the bottom of the screen. We'll start with the home team, Fulham. That is Leno, Tete, Tosin, Diop, Ream, Reed, Carney, Andres, Pereira, Decordova, Reed, Vinicius, and Willian in a sort of 4-3-3 style manner. With West Ham lining up with Fabianski, Soufal, Dawson, Ogbonna, Emerson, Souček, Lanzini, Fornals, Benrahma, Bowen, Skamaka. We'll see how that ends up playing out. But is one change from the Udinese lineup. This is basically probably the team. Adding to it Declan Rice, probably a Gerd that will start. In the first game against Arsenal. However, we are underway at Fulham. Deploy the boys. Come on, you Irons. Time to run two things. Let's go. Fulham versus West Ham. It's going to be big plays. It's going to be big dubs. And hopefully a fun game, a fun atmosphere. I don't know. Will it or not? I've kind of got a little bit of an inkling suspicion that it might be a bit of a draw. That's what the back of my brain is saying. Lob your score predictions in chat. Mine is saying 1-1. I don't know why. I've just had this feeling all day. For those who voted in the poll earlier, how do you feel about West Ham's 11? 15% of you said very happy. 67% of you said it's all right. 12% said poor. 5% said fuming. So all in all, yeah, it's all right. More positive than negative, but yeah, it's all right. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate it. He's back. Not fully festive up, which I should have done because it's the last one before Christmas. So I should have done that, but no. Josiah is not live on YouTube, unfortunately, my friend. You have to pay £5 on the West Ham website. I'm not sure if you can pay £5 on the Fulham website if you're a Fulham fan. I don't know, but apparently you have to pay for it. Why? Who knows? Not I. Apparently there's a reason. That's all I'll say. Apparently there's a reason. God knows why. Diop there with a little bit of a awkward touch, but still. So I'm interested to see again. I'm trying to just figure out if we're playing 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. I think it's a 4-3-3. I mean, when you play Fornals in the 10, who's definitely in the centre, he's not on the left or anything. You have Benrahma on the left and Bowen on the right. When you're playing Fornals in that sort of 10 position, he will drop deep anyway. But it does seem to be a little bit more of a 4-3-3, although we'll see. Fulham are on the attack right now. That's a nice ball pass around the back. Trying to find their way through, can't quite manage it. I'm all right with the lineup. I know the other two were quite down on it. And I mean, well, that's a nice ball by Pablo Fornals out wide to Bowen. I'll tell you what, Leno does really well there. Leno just comes out early, stops it, gets it away. But it was really, really well done there. I am actually watching officially on the website, on the club website. I've paid £5. I've regretfully paid £5. That's a nice pass again out wide to Benrahma this time. Takes it up on the left. Couple of little step overs. Finds Emerson on the overlap. That's nice. And it's a ball pulling in. Not bad from West Ham. I don't know if it's going to be a throw or a corner. I think it's gone out for a West Ham throw, but not bad play. I want to see a little bit more from Emerson in terms of competitive games, but in these friendlies, he's not been too bad. My God, we've got a custom graphic for replays. Look at that. It's very exciting from West Ham's perspective, isn't it? Just trying stuff. Deckers, my G, how are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Saw Adam Frank will go live and just diss me straight up. Yeah, it was not a bad lineup, Charlie, except that 11 to start, Rice in potentially, Downs 2. It'll be right. Rice will come in, Downs won't start. Like, apart from that, I think Rice will come in. I think Aged, if he's fit, which I think he will be, will start. Apart from that, I think this is the 11 you'll see. You'd probably see Rice come in for Lanzini, and then you'd see Aged come in for probably Ogbonna, I would suspect. I think that's strong, though. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not ideal. From far, it's not ideal. But it is what it is. Like, you have to... Like, the injuries are the injuries. I think if you're looking at an injury-hit squad like we do have, especially at centre-back, and you're playing this level of player, that's a fairly good sign. In the past, you'd lose a couple of centre-backs, lose whatever, and we'd be completely and utterly screwed. I think that's a relatively good sign. I'm not as down on it as the others are. And also, I would say I quite like the fact that we have gone Lanzini in the double pivot, or playing a 4-3-3, however you want to look at it. You know, as much as I enjoy Flynn Downs, and I like Flynn Downs as much as the next guy, I think this is a good chance for Fulham. Trying to find their way into the centre, they'd be forced out. It's good defending, but they do have another opportunity. It's not a bad ball, but just sort of into no man's land. Kufau's the only one there. Willian's not close enough to it. It's straight back to Fabianski. Good opportunity for Fulham. So a couple of little early signs there. But yeah, I do like the fact we've gone with that. As much as I do, I like Flynn Downs. I think he's a good footballer. I've enjoyed watching him whenever he's played. This is a good sign, especially for the future of Paqueta. Looking at taking it a little bit, that's poor defending, and Fulham have got an opportunity to cross it in from the left-hand side. They put it in, but thankfully straight into the hands of Fabianski. Vinicius was hovering, but didn't quite manage it. I would prefer to see him in a sort of 4-3-3 style formation like this. And I'd prefer us to see us step to teams a little bit more. I think putting Downs in as a double pivot with Thomas Souček is a little bit... I don't know, I just think it's a bit lackluster in a way. I think we should be taking on teams, stepping to them. And I'm happy to see us do something different for once than the usual thing. Even if it does mean Thomas Souček as a sitting DM, which isn't ideal. Defensively, he's very good, but it does take away the other 50% of his game, which is attacking, which is getting in the box. So we'll see how that plays out. Well, he just played nice ball, that's Emerson. GP, thank you very much for the £2. CJ doesn't exist. Moist PCs, bro. Listen, I am genuinely starting to think he may just exist on FIFA. He's what was the guy? Who was the guy from the story mode in FIFA from the Journey? Hunter. He's Alex Hunter. He doesn't actually exist. He's not a real guy. But thank you very much, GP. That's very kind. I'll put your name in the banner in a second. Again, is Paqueta not back? No, none of our players who went away are playing today, which I'm fine with. If I'm being honest with you, I'm pretty okay with that. Letting them have their time off. Everyone who went, I don't care whether they played a lot or whether they didn't play a lot, whether they're goalkeepers, whether they're strikers, I don't mind. Just give them the time off, let them have the time off. I think any time off you can afford a player, we should give. And I know David Moyes is given, from listening to interviews with players who've played under David Moyes, and even specifically at West Ham, when it's been good, he's been known to... Oh, that's a nice pass inwards from Tosin there. And a good spray out wide to the left-hand side for Fulham. They're looking to try and get into a crossing position with Willian here. He's taken on Vladimir Coufal, who's doing relatively well just to stop him. They had to come and back up the beef there with Kearney. He finds him instead. Good defending there from Coufal. He stood up Willian well and just didn't let him get anywhere near a crossing position or past him. And Fulham get shoved all the way back to the defensive position. We'll take that. Moyes has always been good at giving people time off. He's always given a lot of people... he's always given people quite a lot of time off, more than other players would. Pereira tries to cross the flex. It's going to be a corner for Fulham on the right-hand side. And so I'm okay with that. I know people, it's frustrating. Fulham have got a couple of their players back from the World Cup playing today. I know it's annoying to see, but personally, I'm all right with that. For Arsenal, he probably will be. I would suspect he will be. We'll see, though. We'll see. Played in, headed away-ish. Not really strongly. Just checking in. Thank you very much. Don't worry about it, bro. Go have some snap. Ooh, a bit of miscommunication there between Fabianski and Ogbonna from the cross. Fabianski does do well and just punches it away, but it was a bit scary for a split second there. Enjoy your sleep, my G. Enjoy your sleep. Ooh, ball out to the left-hand side to Ben Rama. That's a nice long ball. Again, we're finding a lot of these long balls in the friendlies. These long direct passing. Not super different from David Moyes, if we're being honest about it. And then we get forced backwards that time. Where's Cornet? But in all seriousness, if he doesn't turn up soon, it's going to be a meme. Yeah, I think he already is, Jamie. But I think specifically to one person, he's a meme. His name's Gonzo. But outside of that, Look, we'll just see what happens. I don't know. I don't pretend to know. It's frustrating that it's not there, but I don't pretend to know. If we were winning, no one would care. It is what it is. It is what it is. Skamaka is down. He did get sort of bundled in the play previously. The ball came out to him, and he went for the control. He was getting roughhoused a little bit. Pereira came in, and then who was it? I'm not sure who came flying in. Someone did. I think it was Diop, actually. Yeah, the commentators just said Diop came flying in, and Skamaka's been down the entire time. Antonio is missing today. If you haven't seen the bench, I'll put it up very quickly. Antonio is missing today, which means if Skamaka comes off, the only striker option we have is Mubama. Now, Moyes, I don't think would go for that for some reason. Maybe he would. Maybe I'm being harsh to him. But Mubama does exist. So we'll see. Hopefully, though, this isn't too serious for Skamaka, given the fact that Antonio is missing and we don't know if he'll be fit. I hope that's just a precautionary thing. But yeah, Skamaka's coming off. He's hobbling off right now, so not a great sign. Not a great sign at all. Oh, my G. Happy Christmas indeed. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a grand old time. I'm living it up. So, vibes for Christmas. I'm excited. 1 week away. I'm feeling it. But I hope you're well. My G. Yeah, I'll be interested to see who comes on. Like I said, I don't really have any faith that it would be Mubama, if we're being perfectly honest. I wouldn't have much faith at all. I've just paused the timer there for a split second just so it's in time with what the West Ham website says, even though I clicked it when it went. It's just useful. Soucek should be used as a plan B impact sub like Moyes used Fellaini. I think Fellaini started a lot down. I might be wrong about that. Or maybe not Manchester United, to be fair. But fair. I am watching it on the official West Ham website, Jamie. It's £5 on there to watch it. I'm not going to lie. If I wasn't doing this, I would not have paid £5 for it. I don't know if there are links in the Discord. We try to put them in there whenever we can, if we can find one. But if you're looking for a way to watch the game, there's definitely ways you can go and have a look and try and find it. But I am officially watching it on the website, West Ham website. Benrahma cuts in from the left-hand side. Lanzini. So if you're wondering, we haven't made any subs yet. We're currently playing with 10 men. So there is literally no one up front right now. At least I didn't see anyone come on, and I can't see anyone standing in that place. West Ham then passing it around. I'm surprised we... Is it 10? Who's that? Is that Skamaka or is that? No, that's Lanzini. Oh, we're just playing on. If I've missed a sub, ladies and gentlemen, do let me know. If I've missed a sub, do let me know. No, we haven't. He's just said we're ready to make the change, so I suspect Skamaka will come on. Yeah, I mean, in the sense that we'll be back to what we had last season. So yeah, we would. I mean, even if performance-wise and results-wise and everything else has not worked out, let's be real. Having one striker fit is never a good thing. Especially if Antonio's not fit. Having 0 strikers fit is never a good thing. I won't pay them a £5, especially last match. It didn't even work properly, forcing you to install the app. Yeah, it's annoying. I'm watching on the website as opposed to the app, which you can watch on as well. But watching it on the iPad was actually a massive pain in the arse. Didn't work, wouldn't load. It was just pressure. It's just annoying. Fulham on the attack, trying to find their way forward. West Ham still haven't made the sub. Willian on the left-hand side. Vinicius is there. Played just over the top. Pereira hits it. More comfortable for Fabianski than Fulham would have wanted. It was a volley in the centre of the park for Pereira inside the area in open space, but it wasn't struck sweetly through laces or anything else. He ends up just sort of pass volleying it in. And I was 100% correct, by the way. Flynn Downs is the one coming on for Skamaka. So you're welcome, everyone. I did call it. It would not be Mubama. Flynn Downs comes on, which is disappointing, if I'm being honest with you. But at the same time, Mubama has 0% of chance playing any professional football under David Moyes. It would be Flynn Downs. So in that sense, having someone comes on who's actually going to get the opportunity, fine. But would prefer to see an actual striker on the pitch. So we'll figure out how this is moving around. But Skamaka has come off injured. These friendlies have continued to do us in injury-wise. Skamaka is now gone. We'll see how that ends up playing out. Fabianski just passed it off, and in a lovely friendly fashion, Fulham have just given it straight back to us. So we'll take that. But yeah, not great. Not great. Yeah, you'd think that, Mr. Man, wouldn't you? You'd think that, wouldn't you? No, it's on the West Ham website. Unfortunately, it's the only way you can watch it. I was saying no to someone else, Devon. I apologise there. I was saying no to someone else and then said no to you and then it said what I was going to say to you. It's on the West Ham website. It's on the West Ham website and on the West Ham app. It's £5. You have to pay for it because of rules. You know. He was on. He received the ball about on the halfway line, Doug, and he got absolutely blapped from Issa Diop. He was trying to hold up the ball, trying to find a bit of space, was never fully in control of it. Jared Bowen, looking for the overlap for, I think it was Fulham Downs. Yeah, it was. I'd be interested to see. I think it will end up seeing, I guess, Jared Bowen starting up front now, or playing up front. We'll see how it goes centrally. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, he was trying to hold up the ball, and Issa Diop, just with a bit of a wild challenge, came from behind, clips his, I think it was his ankle. I don't really know. He was down the entire time though. I'm hoping it's more precautionary than anything. He did walk off under his own strength, although it didn't look comfortable. Emerson, a bit of an awkward ball in, but it comes back down to West Ham, can't quite get anything on it. Maintained possession though, passing it around on the outside of the area. Forced back a little bit deeper than we would have liked. Souček sort of moving a bit forward. Maybe Flynn Downs would allow Thomas Souček to play a little bit more advanced. Might be a bit useful, trying to get in the box, especially if we don't have any striker now. That sort of presence in the box might be a bit useful, although I don't think that's what's going to happen. Nice back heel. Nice double back heel there. Didn't quite work out from Lanzini on the second one, but it was nicely done. Nice idea. Ball forward, looking for Vinicius, and Ogbonna with an awkward touch. He does manage to get in, but it's forced wide in an awkward manner for Fulham. Dover-Reed finds Tete, who tries to put it in. There's just no one there. Dawson heads it away. Ben Rama, nice first touch. He's been so good, hasn't he? Nice play from Lanzini, Dawson, and not Lanzini, Bowen and Ben Rama. Ben Rama's looked really lively in these games. I mean, in competitive fixtures, it can be a bit hit and miss, but he's done really well now. Playing a false 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Fornals getting the ball forward in the area. Forced back a little bit with the overlap for Soufal. Bowen is in the centre. Bowen's there. Passes it. He just looked to pass it into the net. It was a really nice opportunity. Good, well worked again. Playing it down the right-hand side. And for once, we're not just pumping it in the box, which is nice. Usually when we work it down the right and the left, we just end up pumping it into the box kind of aimlessly. Fornals finds the overlap from Soufal, who takes a touch and pulls it back. We've seen quite a few pullbacks from us today. And it's into Bowen, who was unmarked just outside the 6-yard box. Tries to just place it into the bottom corner, and it's wide. A really nice opportunity. Bowen has taken up that central position now. You're looking at a sort of... It's practically the same formation, but with Jared Bowen up front. Really. Fornals takes up a position on the left. Lanzini in the centre, and Downs sort of alongside Thomas Souček. So we're now looking... If you're wondering what the lineup is currently, Fabianski in goal. From right to left, you have Soufal, Dawson, Ogbonna, and Emerson. You then have a double pivot of Downs and Souček, with a free behind the striker of Fornals, Lanzini, Ben Rama, and then Bowen up front. No, Downs has gone centrally. I mean, again, there's not a lot of... There's no... Look, here's my argument for it. Here's my argument for it. And I recognise that this is... I'm giving way too much credit to David Moyes here, because I personally would have put Mubama on. I would have much preferred to seen him. But here's my argument for it. He has zero chance of playing. He's not going to play in a competitive fixture. He's just not. It's just not going to happen, right? And so if you look at it, who's more likely to play in a competitive fixture, Downs or Mubama? This being a warm-up, tune-up game, you would probably choose to put Downs on to try and get him that game time. Do I agree with it? Not necessarily, but I think there's an argument for it at least. At least. You know? Is it right? No, I would just play with Bama. I can't lie to you. I would just play with Bama. But that's the argument on it. To be fair, Lewis, I don't disagree with you, but to be fair, we are playing decent football. I'm relatively happy with our performance so far today. Fulham are passing around the back very dangerously. That's good pressure from Jared Bowen. Finds Ben Rama. He could shoot from range. It deflects off Lanzini. He tried to just jump out of the way. Couldn't quite manage it, but it's a nice header down there from don't know who it was, but Bowen picks up the ball just on the edge of the area. Finds Ben Rama again. Can't quite find a space. He's absolutely crowded out by two separate Fulham midfielders. Can't quite stop that one from going anywhere. Thank you. It's way too long. Look how long it is. It's insane. This is the longest my hair's ever been. I feel like I might be wrong about that, but I feel like that. I do have quite a long one. I don't know whether streams are available. That's the thing here, Jamie. I don't know whether streams are available. They might be, they might not be. If anyone is watching it in a way Jamie would prefer, then do let him know. I don't know if it's available, Jamie, is what I'm saying. I'm not entirely sure. I'll be honest with you. Because whenever it's a paid friendly like this, it's usually relatively difficult to find a stream of it. So I'm not sure. I know people were trying though, so. Fulham just passing it around relatively comfortably at the back at the moment. Diop to toss in. Benrahma trying to press. Lanzini trying to press there. Fornals on the right hand side taking up position to press if he wants to. It's not bad from West Ham. And the commentator was just saying we're struggling to see possession here, which isn't wrong. But when we do have it, we're not doing too badly with it, and our pressing's not looking bad, looking too bad. I don't know. I'm relatively happy. Maybe my standards have been set so low that literally anything is good for me. But I'm not too upset with the way we're playing right now. Happy with our football too, mate. I just don't have the confidence that this will translate into the Prem. If we get a good hiding off Arsenal, I think we'll be revert to time and go to our show. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I'd probably agree with you there, Lewis. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd probably agree with you there. But for now, I can't complain too much about what's going to happen. Here's my thing. I'm not going to complain too much about what I think will happen at Arsenal, even though I 100% agree with you. I think that's going to happen. I'm more just taking it as it comes, and right now, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Quick throw from West Ham to Fornals, who does really well to take it round the player, but couldn't quite keep it in. It is going to be a goal kick. I do think it went out. Fornals is complaining, but I do think it went out. However, it wasn't a bad play at all. If we're up by 2 with 10 minutes, Mbamba will come on. That's you're more confident than I am, Scott. I'll tell you that. I was really nice by Fornals there. A little nutmeg on the way through, but it just can't get in. I mean, Twitter, you're looking great. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. Very kind of you. I hope you're well, by the way, in the US, motherfucking A. I hope you're well. That's very kind of you. Disagree if you're strong. I'll take it. Yeah, no. Trust me, Jamie. I'm not offended at all. I'm not offended at all. And I wouldn't even be offended if you... People know. I'd promote other channels if I could. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that, Jamie. Don't worry about it. I respect it, Stephen. I respect it. Willian couldn't quite find the way in. Again, good defensive moves. And this is where we need to make the most of it. Lanzini trying to get the ball, but it's just well done by Toss in there. And it's going to be a free kick to Fulham. We're going to have to be a bit better on the ball. If we are going to not have too much of it, which we're not having at the moment. Fulham are starting to dominate us a little bit since Skamaka went off, which again, it's fine. I think what we've been doing with the ball is good, but that opportunity specifically, we have to do better. And it's nice, but it was just a slightly overplayed pass, slightly overwrought, and Lanzini dives in on Cordova to try and regain possession, maintain possession, however you want to see it. And it's a free kick to Fulham. It's 40 yards away. It's going to be a sort of cross from deep. Pereira whips it in. Header from Tossin, but straight into the hands of Fabianski. It was very dangerous, if we're being honest about. Gary, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're well. The lineup currently is Fabianski in goal. From right to left, we have Sufal, Dawson, Ogbonna, and Emerson. We have a double pivot of Souček and Downs. We then have 3 behind the striker. We have Fornals on the right. We have Lanzini down the middle. We have Benrahma on the left, and then up front we have Jared Bowen. Skamaka went off injured, but that's the full lineup. Hope you're well. Hello. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a grand old time. How's life? Are you able to do 2 Spanners tomorrow? I'm looking for a guest for tomorrow. If you are, Ray, let me know. I'll message you separately outside the list, but you know. I've been trying. I keep noticing their kit. Do you know what I mean? Okay, Ogbonna just took a goal kick short to Fabianski, who then booted it. I'm not entirely certain what the point of that was, but we've done something. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'll let you know. I'm going to start messaging people after this, or carry on, I should say, messaging people after this. And I'll let you know once I get an exact time. But what time would be good for you, Ray? Let me know, and I could probably try and figure out. He got injured. He got injured very early. Good to see Zach. Hope you're well, bro, by the way. He got injured. Diop went in on a tackle. It looked like he hit his ankle. He walked off onto his own strength. He didn't look super comfortable about it, but he did walk off. And we didn't make the substitute instantaneously, which I don't know if that was just trying to get someone ready or whether that was seeing sort of what would happen. But just a slightly reckless challenge it looked like it hit to his ankle. I don't know if it was his ankle that got injured. It might have been something else, but he didn't look super comfortable, but he did walk off. So hopefully it's not too bad and more precautionary, but we'll see. We'll not see. I hope so, Snazzy. Let's go with that. I hope so. HammerChatStore.com, by the way. You can get our Future Legacy mug. Master and Apprentice. It's one of the few things. I designed this one and I was quite happy with it. Didn't draw that. Again, don't know who did. If you see this and you draw this, it's very good. And I just don't know because Geo just sent it to me and went, use this. So I don't know who it was, but that wasn't me. The rest of it's me. Greetings from Australia, Garth. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day in Australia. I'm not sure what time it'll be there, but I hope you're having a good day. It'll be late at night, wouldn't it? Be very late at night. I think it'll be late at night. I don't know. I can't. It's too early for me to try and figure out time differences. You might be thinking, Charlie, it's like 1:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, that means I've been up for half an hour. Let's be real about it. West Ham trying to find their way forward. 4 nows trying to play it through. Can't quite manage it. I'll tell you what, before... Ooh, nice pass there from West Ham. A little bit caught up in the movement, though. Oh, that's a nice spread out to Ben Rama, who's got a bit of space on the left-hand side. Takes a couple of touches. Looks to try and play it in. Nice overstep. Step over. It was nicely done. Ben Rama, again, looking lively. He's been one of the best players this season in general, but even in the friendlies, he's looked relatively on it. Which is good. Yeah. GP, I forgot to put your second thing in. I apologise, GP. I just realised the flipping banner's going across the top and I didn't even put your second one in. GP, I'm sorry, so that was disgraceful behaviour from me. GP, let me put in cap, GP. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you, by the way. We never ever expect donations at all, but let alone in pre-season, mid-season friendly. So it's very kind of you. Thank you, GP. Ben Rama doesn't... Ooh, he did well, found a little bit of space, went for it, but... yeah. Is it not working? Well, that's stress. I'm watching it on the website. If you've ordered it through the app, you should be able to watch it through the website as well. That's how I've been watching it, because screw watching it on the app, because that app is atrocious. And I learnt my lesson trying to do it last time. Big no. 25 minutes into the game. I mean, I've been happy with our performances. I mean, the last 5 minutes, I think, have gotten a bit worse. We've been a bit more stretched. It was sort of working before, whereas now, I don't know, it's just Fulham are dominating and we're just sort of existing. It's not too exciting from a West Ham perspective in that sense. But it's been positive signs. And like I say, I was happy with the lineup. But since we've changed to a more traditional 4-2-3-1, I'm not super happy with it. Fulham on the counter-attack here. Dickodover really tries to play it in, but it's way too close to Fabianski, who very easily collects that. They're crossing. Fulham haven't looked very dangerous at all today. I will say that. They've had the vast majority of possession, especially recently. That side of the game, they've been utterly dominating. But in terms of their finishing, their final ball, it's been practically non-existent from a Fulham perspective, which I'm fine with. Don't get me wrong, I'm very okay with. But yeah, not been very exciting in that sense. And from us, I mean, I've been okay with us, but I think we've played well when we've had the ball. But last 5 minutes, notably, I think we've gotten significantly worse since we've changed to a sort of traditional 4-2-3-1 from the sort of 4-3-3 thing we were playing. It just seems to have gotten worse. Bowen up front by himself. Which we're getting people in and around him, but we're just not really... It's just not quite clicking. Just not quite clicking, you know? Yeah, you have to pay, Amy. You have to pay £5 to watch the match. Fulham, again, looking for that final through ball to Vinicius. Just not working. Just not working. Straight out for a goal kick. We'll be taking that. Yeah, you have to pay £5 to watch it. They say it's because of I think there's rules about, I don't know, maybe it's because they're both Premier League teams or something. I don't know. There's apparently rules and reasons why they're not allowed to just show it for free. So you have to pay £5. I don't know. Yeah, good. Yeah, people are saying go through the website. If you're trying to watch on the app and it's not working, try to go through the website, and apparently that's working. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and like the video. I haven't said any of this stuff. I probably should at some point, right? Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell notification button, because we have plenty of stuff coming up, including the Arsenal preview and all of the match stuff as West Ham come back properly, as the Premier League comes back very, very soon. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, because we've got tons of stuff going on. And while you're there, why not hit the like button? We usually aim for 300 on a watch-along for the old likes. Obviously, in the friendlies, that's just not a thing. But hey, like the video and we'll see where we can get to. Let's play with some house money here. We're already on 78, which means the 100 we've sort of been aiming for with the friendlies might be a possibility. So lob that in if you haven't already, and we'd be much appreciated, because it helps us out massively, the like button. Can't actually describe to you how important it is. It feels like a throwaway thing, but from an algorithm perspective, it's very important. So we would massively appreciate it. Fulham on the attack here on the right hand side, whipped in again. That's not a bad ball actually that time. Ogbonna Foster. Ooh, a stinging volley from I think it was Ream. I'm not sure who it was. It was whoever's playing left back for Fulham today. Just came in with a flying volley on the far side. The ball in there actually wasn't bad from Fulham for once. That cross in was pretty good from Pereira. Vinicius trying to attack it. Ends up Ogbonna just heading it away. Vinicius not really going for it. He moved towards it. Ogbonna, but just unsighted, has to just sort of nod it away. And it comes down to, I think, Ream on the edge of the box, who goes for a spectacular volley. It was almost very close to flying in, but not happened. When Deck leaves, I'm looking forward to seeing a formation with a true holding midfielder, maybe even a few goals from the CM spot. Jeffrey, you're hopeful, mate. You're hopeful. I would agree. I think yes, I would love to see that as well. I don't think we will, mainly because we don't have a true holding midfielder. We're going to have to buy one. But again, that's probably part of it, right? Once you're done, you're going to have to figure it out and buy someone, I guess. I would love to see that. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. The beginning of this game gave me hope. It's slowly dissipating slightly. Yeah, it said £1 for me, but then my PayPal did say I paid a £5. So it said £5 on the website. I clicked on it. It then said it was going to charge me £1, which whatever. And then when I checked my balance, it had gone down £5. So I don't know what's going on, but it is £5. My PayPal said it was £5, even though it told me it was £1. Oh, who knows? I don't know, Gary. I haven't seen any shots at the bench. He was there in the previous two. He was there in the previous, what, 3 is it? 3? 2? 3? 2? However many mid-season friendlies we've had. I keep doing that. He was there in a hat. He just wasn't super active. But there's not been many shots to the bench in those ones, so it was literally like spotting Bigfoot. So we'll be on David Moyes' watch today. I don't know whether he's there. There is a guy wearing a hat which looks like the hat David Moyes was wearing at the previous ones, down near the bench. So I'm going to say yes, he is there. But we'll have a little David Moyes watch and see what happens here. That's nice play by Fulham. Nice nutmeg on the way through there for the through ball through the legs of Lanzini. Fulham, trying to build their way up down the left-hand side now. Again, defending relatively well. Defensively, we've not been too bad, if I'm being honest. Willian cutting in from the inside there. Tries to fire in a pass. It was not great. Straight into the feet of someone who pile drives it out. Diop ends up very awkwardly dealing with it. Incredibly awkwardly. And West Ham get a throw in up the other end through hard work from Jared Bowen. And some awkwardness from Issa Diop. Take a drink if you've heard that one before. West Ham are going to get a throw on the left-hand side. Just seeing Bama warming up there, like there's any chance any of the youth players are going to get on. Just sort of looking at it, trying to think it through right now. I don't know, we are sort of still seeing. It started with a 4-3-3-ish. It was a 4-2-3-1, but with Fornals playing in the centre, he was dropping quite deep, and it felt more like a 4-3-3. Especially in defence. But now, I mean, I was thinking it's felt sort of like it switched up to a more traditional 4-2-3-1. Lanzini's been staying further forward, which is very rare for him to do in general. I think Lanzini's taking up that role he played alongside Marko Arnautovic. That's a nice idea from Lanzini. He doesn't quite work out, but we win a throw in from it. Nicely done. Ben Rama looks to take it quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, we've taken a throw in and keeping possession of the ball. What a time to be alive. Back to Emerson. Back to Ogbonna. We've gone very backwards with it. Although, now we're getting dangerously close to going forwards again. We've been dispossessed. And Fulham have the ball in defensive area. Illness. It was fun for a split second. But now, I don't know. We were trying to build up from the back there. And Thomas Souček was dropping into that sort of central defensive area. Which is sort of what we were seeing a lot. It may be because we're just getting less possession of the ball. Like it looks more flat now than it was. Thomas Souček covering well there. Ball comes played in. Vinicius tried the spectacular back heel volley on the spin round Craig Dawson. Apparently it touched Craig Dawson on the way out. I didn't think it did, but apparently it did, and it's going to be a corner for Fulham. It was very bold of Vinicius to try that. I don't think that was ever going to work out, but still. It's not that bad. It's like 5-4-1. It's not 5 either. It's 4-4-5-1. It's not that bad. Honestly, it's genuinely not that bad. I would say if it was, but today it's not been that bad. Not that it's been good or great, but it's not been that bad. Corner from the left-hand side for Fulham. Whipped in, looking for the head of, I think it's the Diop, can't quite find there. Ben Rama taken down on the edge of our area. It's going to be a free kick. Easily done. We'll take that. Great question. What do you reckon Moisey likes for lunch? I reckon he feels like he's a Scotch egg man. Eats porridge with salt. I reckon it's a good question. I reckon he eats something hearty, but not like a lot. I don't think he's filling up his plate, but I think there's gonna be something. I think there's gonna be something heavy on there. You know what I mean? Beef. Something beef. Beef and potatoes. There's got to be a potato involved somewhere. You know? Whatever that thing Geo said to me the other week was. I don't remember what it was called. Tatties? Was it called tatties? What are they called? Tatties? Scottish thing. It looked a bit like a hash brown. Looked a bit like a hash brown. Looked very nice. I want one. Don't remember what it was called. One of them. Whatever that was. Sorry for that slurpage. It's probably very loud. You can watch the game, Jacob, on the West Ham website. If there are streams available to watch it otherwise, if you're not willing to pay the £5 on the website or on the app, we will be posting them over on the Discord, West Ham's, the official Hammers Chat Discord, lovely West Ham community. Scroll down if you want to join our Discord. It's down there, free to join. And we will be posting it on the stream links section. Ben Rama tries to fire it across, doesn't quite make it work. No carries it. We will be posting it on there. However, I know streams are hard to come by today because, again, you have to pay for it. What we're saying then, we're starting up top against Arsenal. Well, it depends. Look, Antonio wasn't in the squad at all today. Don't know why, but he just didn't exist. And then, obviously, Skamaka's gone off injured. I think, let's say, for sake of argument, both of those people are injured for the Arsenal game. Bowen starts up front. I'm pretty confident in saying that. I just don't think he'll ever do that. I just don't think he'd vibe. He'd vibe playing a youth player up front. I mean, we've seen it before. He's never wanted to do it, right? We saw it last season when Antonio was out. He played Bowen up front. I don't think it'd be any different today. Am I really licking the hot chocolate off this spoon? Yes, I am. Am I ashamed of it? Mildly. Big spread out ball left from Fulham. Out to wide to the left-hand side, trying to find their way forward to a crossing position. Again, we've defended relatively well today. Attacking-wise, I think you can make arguments. I think first 20 minutes we were good. Since then, we've been lackluster going forward. But defensively, I think the entire time we've defended relatively well. We've reduced Fulham. Their final passes haven't been great. Jared Bowen with a nice opportunity, taking the opportunity. Diop was a good tackle. It's a very good tackle actually from Mr. Diop. To be fair, it was last ditch. It looked Downs bundles over a Fulham player. It's going to be a free kick. It looked like a really golden opportunity there for Jared Bowen to pounce on some heavy-handed Fulham play. But thankfully, I say thankfully, this Diop does well. I'm still used to seeing him in Arts. It's confusing me. The fact he's not West Ham is confusing me. Also, I want to see him do well. Go on, this it, mate. Go on. Probably beef tatties and yogurt on the same plate. Something has to be out of position. I strongly agree, Wayne. I think you've nailed that. I think you've absolutely nailed that. Moist drinks mine made from the tears of Soufal. He's playing today, to be fair, Soufal, and he's playing well. All this talk of their falling out or whatever, which I'm not saying is inaccurate, but he's played today. He's playing relatively well. I don't think he should be playing. It should be Ben Johnson, but we move. I did as much for much. That's a right back. Whoever plays, we're gonna have problems. But Greg's are in the bad books. Day one. That is disgraceful stuff. No breakfast at all. And on day 3 club. What free stress? I went to Greg's the other day. I've been to Greg's 3 times in the past couple of weeks, right? And not a single time has there been a sausage roll available. What am I here for? Oh, that's about... I tell you what, Pereira's ball's in. That was another one there. It was pretty decent. And Fulham tried to attack it. It didn't quite work out at that time. I've been critical of their final ball and their attacking play. This is nice play. Looking for Pereira again. Cleared away. Good interception there from Manuel Lanzini. And now Ben Rama comes away with the ball. Jared Bowen makes a awkward run. And Pablo Fornals can't quite get to where Ben Rama was wanting it. And now Fulham come up again the other side. Willian on the overlap. Whipped in. That's a good ball in. The header can't quite get there from De Cordova-Reid. It comes to Tete, who tries to whip it in again. It's a good block from Emerson. Like I say, I think we've defended relatively well, and I've been critical of Fulham's final pass and all of that sort of stuff. Their attempts in and around the box haven't been great. Pereira has looked decent. He's been the big one for me. When he's been crossing the ball in, when he's been passing the ball around, he's looked really good. It's been a good performance from him relatively to the rest of the side, although they are looking a little bit sharper as the game goes on. They're getting slightly better at putting the ball into opportunities where they could potentially score a goal, but the rest of the game has been just Pereira. But yeah, 3 times in a row, not a single sausage roll in sight. What kind of stress? What's the point? You know. Played out wide. Pereira picks up the ball. Reed, Kearney, Willian, Fulham just close control, passing it in and around the area. Well, around the area. They're not really in it at the moment. Trying to find that way in. Tete is a nice ball into Vinicius, but again, just forcing it back. Defensively, we've been good today. I think so, anyway. Whenever they get near to the centre, we crowd them out relatively well. Bowen is doing some nice defensive work there. In fact, good pressing and good defensive pressing from everyone there to force Fulham back. We do need to reclaim our positions here. De Cordova-Reid maybe should have pushed that one, tried to take on Emerson. Doesn't. Instead, they have to go backwards, Fulham. Defending relatively well. As much as I would want to, that would mean me having to cook them. But as much as I would want to, I probably would do that. I mean, I'll just eat them straight. I mean, let's act like I don't just unravel it and lob it whole in my gob. But I'll be down for that. There are no baby bells available for the match today, by the way. If you're looking for something like that, the best I can come up with for circular cheesy food is mini cheddars. Now, if we feel like at some point we need the boost, we can discuss whether or not we should go for the mini cheddars. But that's really the only option we have. I did go to the shops last night. I did try all Fulham. That's a nice ball. Looking for Tete with the cross. Vinicius! 1-0. 1-0 Fulham. It's a good goal as well. All of a sudden it opened up. And again, those crossing, that final ball's just been a little bit better. From the right-hand side, Tete's crossing just hasn't quite been the one today. But that ball in specifically found a bit of space. And Vinicius attacks it and does really well. He's been... I'll be honest with you, I've not been too impressed by Vinicius at all today. I think he's just sort of been non-existent for most of the game. And whenever he has had the ball, it's not been anything to really write home about. But that's a nice play from Fulham. They've played it down on the right-hand side. Whips it across and he attacks it well. Vinicius comes in ahead of Dawson. Behind Ogbonna. Just gets ahead of Dawson. It's a really nice header. Attacks it really well. Fabianski doesn't have any chance whatsoever. It's 1-0. It's Vinicius. On the run of play, you would have to say that's fair. We were probably better the first 20 minutes, in my opinion. Since then, they have been better. In that sense, you'd probably argue 1-0 might be fair. It's not like we were so significantly better than them in the first 20 minutes either that it was insane. But they have been significantly better than us in that second 20. 1-0, fair. And it's a really good header from Vinicius. Good crossing from Tete, put in with a lot of venom, just putting a lot of power into it. Big hoof, long ball, not really completely aimless. They were sort of looking towards Fornals on the right-hand side, but with no real accuracy or trying. I don't know what the point of that was. And West Ham forced all the way back. Yeah, it's a thing. Sofian, try watching on the website if you can. Try watching it on the West Ham website. If you were able, if you've paid for it, I would say try watching it on the website because the West Ham app is just a piece of crap. But watching it online has been perfect for me. I've literally not had a single issue. Fair. I saw someone say earlier, I don't know who it was, I did look back for it. I couldn't find the comment though because the comment moves and it's like, it is what it is. I did try to find it. Someone said, Muppet Christmas Carol watch along. Maybe. Not on this channel, but maybe. I would love to do one. I love that film quite dearly. And maybe I will do that in the next week on my channel or something. I don't know. But I would love to do it. I love that film. It's such a banger. Muppet Christmas Carol is, in my opinion, the best Christmas film of all time. That's my opinion. Are we on 1, 2, 3? We'll take that. I'll tell you what, let's see where you can get to. If we just keep going for the likes today, and we'll see what, like I say, we're playing with house money. 300 is usually the goal for a watch along. And I'll tell you what, 1, 2, 3 at this point isn't that bad for the friendlies. We've obviously never been able to get near it for obvious reasons. It's a friendly, who cares, right? But 1, 2, 3 is better. I tell you what, 1, 2, 3 is not bad. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Find out what happens. We'll see how we go. Dawson battling there. Well, does well. I thought it was a free kick, but we have the ball. Fornals looking for the underlap from Downs. It's a corner. We're playing very undynamically again. It's getting less dynamic as the game goes. But an opportunity for a corner there. 1 minute of extra time to be played. Apparently they have to, CY. Again, I'll run the line that they've been saying that they have to because of, I think it's Premier League rules or something. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous and stupid, but it is what it is. Corner, right before the end of the game. We've got about just over 30 seconds left at half. We'll probably see this and then maybe the ball will just sort of run about. I don't know. Bowen plays it in looking for Ogbonna. Can't quite get a head on it. Maybe a bit of high foot there, but it doesn't matter. This is a good breakaway opportunity. Pereira's on the ball. We've got about 20 seconds to make this work, Fulham. Ben Rama, I tell you what, does really well. Good defensive work from Ben Rama there, who just covered Andreas Pereira all the way. He was charging forward Pereira, got into a decent crossing position. A little bit of awkwardness from West Ham. Thankfully, Fabianski comes and collects it. And there is the half-time whistle. Ever so slightly early, but nothing was going to happen. It is 1-0 to Fulham at half-time. You know what I mean? Never. Could never. 20 minutes, I was happy. I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit more with Geo in a second. But first 20 minutes, I was happy. I felt like it was... In fact, he's here right now. So I'll just say it in front of Geo. Hello, Geo. How are you? First 20 minutes, I was happy. I felt like we were doing all right. I liked our play. I liked our sort of positioning when Scamacca was on the pitch. I thought it was working out. I thought we were doing okay with it. For 5 minutes after that, I felt like we were losing possession of the ball, losing control of it. But when we had the ball, I was relatively happy with it. But since then, really, we just sort of not. I don't know. For me, it's just been very lackluster. How do you feel?
I mean, I feel horrific. I don't feel very good today, and I feel even worse after watching that, to be honest with you, Charlie. That's crap. I know it's only friendly, but I was hoping for a little bit of motivation and inspiration ahead of the Premier League return, and I was hoping not so much the Arsenal game. We could win 8-0 today, and I still didn't think we were going to get anything against Arsenal, but more for the Brentford game. I was hoping for something. I think, you know what? I think we'll be okay. We'll get something against Brentford. Honestly, Charlie, I feel the complete opposite. I'm dreading the Premier League coming back. It's just rubbish. It's just rubbish. The football's rubbish. Half the players are playing rubbish. There's no creativity. Our centre backs in the previous two friendlies and this one look poor. I know I'm grumpy today. I'm aware I'm grumpy, but I am not enjoying this, Charlie. I'm really not enjoying this at all. It's only a £5, and that seems expensive from what I've witnessed so far. It's just. Do you know something? I'll be honest with you. I've had the hump since that substitution. I've been annoyed by that because rather than put on Mubama, rather than just use this as an opportunity to give the kid a chance, he took on Flynn Downs and reshuffled the entire deck. The football's crap anyway, but why have you done? It's just so frustrating that you've got this opportunity because Antonio and Scamacca's injured. It hands Moyes a chance on a play in a friendly to give Mubama 18 minutes up front because we might need him. He might. It depends how bad Antonio and Scamacca's injuries are. There's a possibility neither are going to be fit against Arsenal. I'm not saying Mubama starts, but at the very least, he will be an option on the bench. So if you ain't going to play him in this friendly, then do you know something? Don't even bother putting him on the bench against Arsenal because he's not going to come on. There's no sort of circumstances Mubama will enter the field to play against Arsenal. And today, just put him on for 80 minutes. Let's have a look. You never know. He might have scored a hat-trick. He might have done something. I'll tell you what, he couldn't have done less than what Jared Bowen's doing, but at least Bowen could have done something out on the right-hand side. But instead, he's gone into the middle. It's taken him out of the game. Fornals is now playing right wing, which I've never seen him do before. He's now playing out on the right, and it's just stupid. The whole thing is just stupid. It's really frustrating me, actually. That substitution, I knew he wasn't going to bring on Mubama, but I just thought, please, Moyes, just bring him on. And what's he meant? He's sitting there, 18 years old, sitting there, sees Scamacca get injured. He must be thinking, oh, here we go, I'm going to get on now. Why wouldn't I? The only striker in the team now. No, the defensive midfielder comes on. I actually, at one point, and kid you not, Charlie, I thought he was going to play Downs up front. When he came on, I thought he's actually going to do it, isn't he? He's going to play him as like a false nine. But no, he shuffled the deck and moved players out of position to accommodate the fact that we don't want to play a youngster in a friendly. It's just pathetic. It's really bugged me, as you can tell. But the whole game's crap anyway, so...
I agree with you with the Mubama thing. I would have put him on as well. I understand what David Moyes has done by bringing on Downs. I understand the concept of, look,
don't upset your senior players.
Not that.
It's
not that. It's Mubama's got zero chance of playing a competitive game. So what's the point in putting him in a tune-up game? You might as well play the person who at least has an opportunity, who has a chance of playing. I understand
at least try to discover something. Though, what are you going to discover today?
Again. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I think it is just looking at it purely as a warm-up thing. And at that point, then what's the point in playing him? I think you should have, because you're in a situation now where Antonio, I think the argument should be, Antonio's injured, Scamacca's just gone off, which I'm hoping both of those are some sort of precautionary thing. I don't know, but I'm hoping there's some sort of precautionary thing. But at that point, Mubama will be on the bench at least. He won't start him. It doesn't matter. Even if both of those aren't fit, Bowen will start up front. We know this. That's just what's gonna happen. But at least then Mubama will be on the bench. And at that point, I think there's an argument to be said, like you say, about sort of, if it's discovery. I mean, look, did the goal count? No, it obviously.
What I will say, I agree with your logic. I agree with why Moyes has done what he's done. I agree with what you're saying here. This is why Moyes has done it. I just don't agree with what Moyes has done. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I hate it. I absolutely hate it because what's the point of Mubama being here? And he's going to bring some of the youngsters on for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. One or two of them will get on the pitch at least. But then, well, why are you doing that then? If you're not going to give Mubama 80 minutes, what's the point of giving him 10? Just don't give him any then. Either give... it just frustrates me. I find it very contradictory. The youngsters coming onto the pitch, what that lack of substitution has done is just proving that when the youngsters come on today, it's not to have a look at them, it's to give the senior players a rest. That's it. It's not, let's have a look at Sawyer and see if he's got anything to offer the first team. Let's give him a chance. Ekwa's coming on centre mid. It's not to have a look at Ekwa. It's to give Souček a rest. That's all it's doing. It's just getting Souček off the pitch. It's not getting Ekwa on. It's getting Souček off. A complete different... It's one sub, same sub, complete difference in mentality. And that's been proven by Mubama not coming on. Because if it was about giving the youngsters a chance, Mubama would have been on. when Scamacca come off, but he wasn't. He put Downs on because he wants to give the senior players minutes ahead of the Arsenal game. There's plenty of opportunity to still give Downs minutes, but also put Mbama on, because at the end of the day, the plan wasn't to take Scamacca off in the 13th minute, was it? It was to give Scamacca 80 minutes or something. So that sub wouldn't have prevented Downs getting the minutes Moyes intended to give him. The plan sub would have been, put Downs on at half-time and take Souček off. That would have been the plan. Something would have been in place. He could have still carried on with that, but it's really pissed me off, that substitution. And then since then, the football's been dreadful. I'm bored watching it. I'm terrified for the Arsenal game. It's not a good time. And like I said, I'm not in a good mood today. I'm aware of that. But that game is just making me grumpier.
Well, I'll leave you all with a positively vibey Geo Mackie, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back in a second.
Bloody grumpy Geo. Don't worry about that. Anyway, let's see what you're all saying. Sorry for being grumpy. I do apologise. I'm just not. I'm a bit I'm hungover. I am hungover, and it's as I'm getting older, recovery time is increasing, and I don't like it. I had to get up really early today as well, so that's not helped. So anyway, let's see what you're saying. Luke says, if the back office sits on its laurels and doesn't nip the Moyes issue soon, we'll be battling it in the EFL, or bottling it where we feel is adequate. Leo says, I can see why youngsters see no path to the first team. At least say last season with no fit centre backs and now no fit strikers. Mbama is still on the bench. Gareth says, looks like the club have missed a trick during the World Cup break. And Kyriakos says, I woke up happy, now I'm depressed. Well, I woke up grumpy. I'm now depressed and grumpy. Paul says, since last December, we've been in bad form. I mean, it's just a matter of 12 months now, isn't it? George says, Longello was man of match in Europe and then didn't play. Someone else said that. Oh, here you go. Matt says he was excellent for Birmingham last night. He's Jason saying Longello's smashing it at Birmingham. That's what happens when you give the youngsters a chance. Jeff says the substitution proves what Moyes is going to do against Arsenal. Completely agree. Happy Amaret Kerry says West Ham's depressing to watch. Think about. Here for Hummus says nothing's changed. Alan says Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's all downhill. Hammer Down Under says alcohol Geo is so much more than just a breakfast drink. No, I had too much of that last night. I'm just getting me down. Sebastian says, kicking ourselves in a few weeks when we sack him and wonder why we didn't get a manager in during the World Cup break. Honestly, it'd be head against brick wall if we do that. If we have to sack him in a few weeks' time, it's the opportunity to change manager during the World Cup was incredible, unique. Doug asks if Bowen has scored a striker while being moved. Has Bowen scored a goal while being moved to striker? Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't think of one. I don't think we've used Bowen as striker that much, if memory serves me right. Antonio was fit for most of the season, weren't he? But I don't know. Someone will correct you either way. John says, what I've seen so far is crap. We're the same. Nothing's changed. Imagine some people, Gonzo, let's pay £10 to watch this. Hey, thanks for that, Robert. I needed a smile. Thank you, Robert. That's made me smile. Alan says it's a shame there's no West Ham channels and press conferences. I'd love to hear what Moyes would say about Mbama's involved, but we'd get banned. I'm actually glad there isn't fan channels and press conferences, or just any West Ham fan in press conferences, because the manager wouldn't like it. Could you imagine Moyes having to field questions about lack of Mbama involvement and stuff? And he would just get aggy very quickly, and it just wouldn't be fun. It would almost be pointless. It would ruin it for the other people. I barely watch press conferences or listen to them for that reason, really. It's just puff pieces, isn't it? It's just positive PR only allowed. Leo says, Moyes football won't help me with a recovery time at all. Might give you a headache. Yes. Linda's asking the score. It's currently 1-0 Fulham. Vinicius scored. Snazzy says Cullen is one of Burnley's best players. At least he plays for Sunderland. Longello's doing well at Birmingham. At least he's playing well for Sunderland as well. Elise is playing well for Sunderland as well. Yes, correct. He is. I've seen a lot of Sunderland fans are raving about him now because I think when he first went, he didn't get in the team straight away. And I think when he did get his first appearance, I think he was a bit shaky. So Sunderland fans were a bit like, hang on a minute. West Ham fans were disappointed to lose this guy. What's this about? But now he's settled in, coming into his own. And I watched Sunderland last week. He played okay. Elise, I wouldn't say he had a great game or a bad one. He was fine enough, but Sunderland fans think a lot about him. Alan, have I read Noble's book? Yeah, it's there. It's finished. It doesn't go on the shelf unless it's finished. It was all right. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. There's nothing juicy in it. If you're looking for stories, there isn't any. There's nothing really. I didn't really discover anything. I was quite disappointed. But this is a man that's going to continue to work for West Ham, so he's hardly going to lay into the club when he's got a job at the club, is he? So you've got to take it for what it is. It's the captain or former captain of West Ham speaking about his experiences, which you already know about, really. Al says, heads up for depressed and grumpy supporters, Savio Morin. We won't win anything, and we won't get relegated. Same as Tottenham, although we know we stink. Shush says, woke up today hoping Moyes has changed something. Turns out I had high expectations. Richard said Moyes needs to go. Bowen did score after being brought on for Antonio last season. James thinks he scored once as a striker, Jared Bowen. Liam says, we're only a third into the season. There's plenty of time for things to change. Yeah, I know you're trying to be positive, Liam, but I read that and get the shivers. I read that and think, bloody hell, you're right. We could drop into the bottom three. Dave says, beginning to feel a fool for backing Moyes for so long, but think I have slipped into Moyes out. Hey, don't feel like a fool, Dave. No. I'm not going to have that. It's one of them things. Some people do try and embarrass others when they get an opinion wrong or for whatever reason. Hey, you said this and you were wrong. So what? You're a West Ham fan. It doesn't matter if you get things wrong or not, is it? You back the manager. Good on you. I backed Bilic till the death. It's still bloody do, to be fair. Still never really been Bilic out. Still am in. There's two videos we've discussed in Kyriakos. Myself and Gonzo did a cup of tea after the Leicester game, so you're going to have to go back quite a few weeks now where we have an in-depth discussion about Moyes. And then when we did the podcast with Nick, which went up on Wednesday night, it went up during the week past, so it's on the channel. It's titled like Qatari's looking at West Ham or something. It's titled like that. If you watch one of those two videos, you'll get my opinion, but to summarise, out. James says, Arsenal completely battered us last season at the Emirates when they weren't even that good. We were all right. I dread to think what they'll do to us now. Richard, do I think we'll score? No. I don't. Bowen should have, to be fair. Bowen should have scored, but no. Hello.
West Ham are making their way back out onto the pitch. Gio, is there any substitutions you'd actually want to see? I mean, I disagree with you. I don't think we'll see basically any youth players. I think we'll see maybe one max. I think it'll be just first team players only. But if you've got anything you want to see, any vibes left?
I would bring on Ben Johnson for one of the fullbacks just to give Ben Johnson minutes. Is there any other senior player on the bench?
Connor Coventry, if you want to count him.
No, I don't count him. No. So Ben Johnson's only one then, and then Mubama on for Fanals, put Bowen in his position and put Mubama in his position and play players in their positions. I would like that in the second half if possible. But apart from that, no, not really. I would like to see Ekwa, actually. Ekwa for Souček. I'd like to see that. I think I'm hopeful of Ekwa making it. I don't know if he'll make it at West Ham, but I think, and this is going to sound bad because he's at West Ham currently, but a solid championship player at worst in there, I think, with Ekwa. But this is where I think if he gets opportunities at West Ham, he might become a Premier League player. But if you leave him in under 21s for a couple of seasons, he becomes a championship player. So this is where I disagree when people say, well, what they've achieved since West Ham, I think, hang on a minute, if you give them opportunities, that changes everything. It frustrates me. people talk about it like it's black and white, and I don't subscribe to that at all. So yeah, Ekwa and Johnson, and then Mubama, and get Bowen back on the right hand side, please, because he's gone out the game since moving up front. He's just disappeared. I thought he looked quite lively until that sub. I mean, it was only 13 minutes, but he looked all right. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, Charlie.
Enjoy the second half, and I'll see you for the review. Ladies and gentlemen, Geo will be back for the second half. We'll be back at half full time, sorry, I should say, for the review with Gonzo. But until then, it is West Ham United 0, Fulham 1 at Craven Cottage in a pre-season friendly. Mid-season friendly. I've done it again, ladies and gentlemen. What time to be alive. There we go. Fulham have made a substitution at the break. Leno has come off for Rodak in goal. But from a West Ham perspective, no subs. We'll see if that means there will be any sort of different movements entirely. It is being broadcast on the West Ham website and on the West Ham app. You have to pay £5 to watch it. If there are other links available, then I would highly recommend you check out our Discord. Link in the description below, because we have a bit there called Stream Links, and if they are there, we'll find them. Jared Bowen went down there and has not got up looking good in any way, shape or form. Very early in this half, Jared Bowen's gone down, sort of struggling, and he's not looked lively in any way, shape or form since then. Fulham have come straight up the other end. They crossed the ball, and that's not a bad cross as well, but no one attacks it well enough, and Fabianski collects. If you're wondering how far behind or ahead of you I am, here is the timer. In fact, let me make sure it's just perfectly in time with what I can see on the screen. Because West Ham, kickoff happens and then they do the graphic and then the time starts. So now you go. There we go. Now we're exactly in time. So if you want to know exactly where I am in the game, that's where I am in the top left corner from the West Ham stream. Apart from that, it is underway. Jared Bowen moving a little bit more freely now, thankfully. Yeah, he's looking okay now. There was a moment there where I was quite concerned about him. He wasn't moving comfortably in any way, shape or form. And he moved a bit weirdly, but now he looks okay. As Gio said, I mean, I'd like to see Mubama as well. Put Bowen back on the right. I'd take Lanzini off personally. Put Fornals into the centre. Oh, that's not a bad ball from Fulham. Nodded down, but again, just no one there. Johnson, give Johnson minutes. I would have started Johnson today. I think Johnson's been the better right back out of all of them in this season so far. However, having said that, Soufal's not been bad today. Good tackle there from... Good tackle and a pass there in the end from Flynn Downs. I mean, it was a bit OTT and he sort of sold everyone short with the back heel, but it was a nice idea at least, and I'm not going to criticise him too much for doing something different. But yeah, you look at it in that sense, you'd say probably it's not being too bad. That's what I'd want anyway, and that's what I would want. I don't think we'll see it. I think we'll see Johnson come on. Outside of that, I don't know what other players we might see. Coventry, I wouldn't be surprised to see at some point. I don't know. I don't think we'll see many youth players, if any. Maybe 1 or 2 max. At that point, I think Mubama would come on. But at the same time, Flynn Downs is on the pitch and we've seen him play here, there and everywhere. So God knows. God knows. There are implausibly over 600 people in the chat right now. So hello, welcome everyone. How are you? I hope you're well. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Hammer's Chat. Make sure to hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos, because we've got a ton coming up. Of course, West Ham and the Premier League return next weekend. We return on Boxing Day, Arsenal. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to be a bit of a stress. So you might want to come and watch someone just be stressed out about it, which I would highly recommend coming back. But in between then, we have tons of other videos going up as well, including the preview, transfer stuff. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up. So make sure to hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any of that. And hit the like button while you're down there. 300 is usually the goal for the watch alongs, although friendlies, I don't put any stock in it, but we're doing all right today. We're already at 171 likes. I'll be honest with you, I'm buzzing about that. So if we just keep going, we'll see where we end up. Downs brings enthusiasm, something we're really lacking both today and in general at the moment. Yeah, he's fine. I've not been blown away by Downs when I've seen him play, but I think he's played well. But in comparison to the rest of the team, he's been very good, if you see what I'm saying. Like, I think if you were putting Downs in last season's team, in last season's form, Ben Rama does well there. He's looking good again today. Comes away with the ball after two little nippy challenges. plays it to Fornals, who spreads it out wide to Emerson, looking for a bit of space on the left-hand side, cuts inside, goes central, Downs. If you put Downs in last season's team, I'd be like, yeah, he's fine. This season's team, he looks a lot better than that. I just don't know where he would fit in more permanently. I know people say for Thomas Souček, I disagree with that, but you know, and I think since he's come on today, yeah, he's been fine. I don't know. It's that Geo's negativity is come off of me. Where are you on the Moyes out call? Insanely, I'm still Moyes in, despite the fact that I actively do not like David Moyes. I don't think he's that good of a manager. I've never thought that good as. I mean, if people have watched the watch-alongs or any Hammers Chat videos for a long time, you'll notice I don't like him. I didn't like him the first time. I didn't like the fact we signed him the first time. I didn't like how he played the first time. I didn't like him coming back the second time. I didn't like the way we played for the majority of the second time. Even when it was going really well, I was probably one of the more negative fans in terms of how we were playing. I think the second season, that was very dangerous play from Rodak there. Frankly, it works out for Fulham from their perspective, but Jesus Christ, that was scary for a second. I didn't like him, and even when we were going well, I didn't like him. But I thought the reason I'll say I'm Moyes in is because he proved me wrong. He's dragged the club kicking and screaming upwards. Oh, this is a really good opportunity for Fornals. Oh, save! It just opened up all of a sudden for West Ham down the left-hand side, flying forward. The ball again. One of the things I've actually liked about our attacking play today is when we've got into crossing positions, we haven't just lobbed it in aimlessly. We've been pulling it back. We never do this. It's so good to see. I've been screaming for years about this, about just doing pullbacks instead of just getting the ball to sort of vaguely in the final third with the fullbacks and just hoofing it into the area, expecting anyone to get on the end of it when we never ever do. And haven't done since we changed to a 4-2-3-1. So I don't see what the point of it has been. And we've been doing pullbacks, and yet again, another great opportunity there. Pullback from the left-hand side. I think it was from Emerson. It lands to the path of Fornals, who hits it. And Rhoda starts it. Bowen! Oh, just wide again. 2 opportunities in quick succession. The original one, the ball comes across, and it ends up at the feet of Fornals, who opens up his body and just tries to place it in the opposite corner. It doesn't go well. It just ends up straight at Rodak, and then a second opportunity there to Bowen, who chests it down from the cross from the Ben Rama on the left-hand side, then tries to just strike it. It's wide. It's going to be a goal kick. And again, another goal kick where a centre-back's playing it short to a goalkeeper who's then booting it long. I don't know what's going on here. Is this something new? Is this something the Premier League has picked up from the continent or something? I don't know what's going on here, but that's the second time today I've seen a goal kick. Both sides have done it, where a centre-back takes it, lays it short to the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box, who takes a couple of touches and then hoofs it long. Maybe we're trying to pull the opposition out of position and then booting it. I don't know what we're doing. But now Fulham have done it and West Ham have done it. So I don't know what this fancy palaver is. Just get it out there. I don't know. But yeah, somehow, implausibly, I'm always in, is what the point is. Despite the fact I don't like him, I don't think he's a good manager, I don't like his tactics, and I don't particularly believe he's going to turn it around. But I think he deserves the chance to turn it around, given the fact of how good we've been for the last couple of seasons. I'm willing to give him that opportunity, even though I don't think it will go well. We're doing it again. Look, we've done it again. Goal kick, and Ogbonas just laid it short to Fabianski, who's then kicked it long. I don't get what the point is. Because it's not like... In my head, maybe, right? This is what happens. In my head, maybe you do that because then the opposition activate, they come towards you, and then maybe that gives you a bit of space to pump it long, and then you can go from there and sort of counter-attack almost. But they don't... The forwards might activate and sort of try to close down your centre-backs or your goalkeeper or whatever. But does anyone else? Does that change anything? Tim Ream's down. Although he seems to be back up and he's going to take the throw in now, but Tim Ream was down. I don't understand. Yeah. Fulham passing it around relatively dangerously at the back. We're pressing well. We're in good positions. Although Vinicius does well and then laid forward. That's good work. And it's going to be all advantage played. Thankfully, they overstretched themselves massively with that pass. And Craig Dawson was all too happy to oblige to take that. That was a really good opportunity for Fulham, and they've messed that up. Me and Jack Elderton did a really... I've got to do flipping got to do analytics tomorrow as well. Me and Jack Elderton from Analytics United did a really good show last week on the Patreon, patreon.com/hammerchat, if you don't know. Link in the description below. Talking about like XG and like the differences between this season and last season and the season before. And it's very interesting stuff, is what I'd say was going on there. I don't know fully how to think about it because some of the stats were actually going against how I felt like the season has gone this season. But in general, we have been pretty good in terms of what we've actually managed to produce XG-wise to goals. But this season's been very different, you know. None of our World Cup players are back. They've all got a break. They've all got a break, which I'm totally fine with. I should say that I am 1000% fine with it. I suspect some of them will come back in for the Arsenal game. Rice will definitely start. I suspect Agerd will start as well. But I'm okay with them having a break for now. I don't really care about them playing in this game, to be honest with you, so I'm fine with that. The lineup for West Ham is... The lineup for West Ham is Fabianski in goal. From right to left, we have Soufal, Dawson, Ogbonna, and Emerson. We have a double pivot of Souček and Downs. We then have three behind the striker from right to left again. Fornals playing on the right, Benrahma on the left, Lanzini down the middle, and Jared Bowen up front. Skamaka did start up front, but went off injured, at which point Downs came on, and we went to a more traditional 4-2-3-1. Before that, we were sort of playing a 4-3-3-ish style thing. Yeah. I do think there is a notable difference when I think there is a notable difference when our youth players come on in terms of how do I word this? I think it's clear they've been coached by someone else, is what I would say. When the youth players come on, they seem to have a level of understanding about what they're doing, especially when they come on in groups, clusters. And you see it especially in attacking. That's not a bad ball from Fulham from a free kick, but it's headed out for a corner for Fulham from the right-hand side. When they come on, they move around differently. They understand the game differently. You know, when we're playing forward and say... we're playing down the right-hand side, Soufal will hit the overlap, we'll find Soufal, he'll cross the ball in. It's that sort of muscle memory movement that we have, right? Which is fine, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing necessarily, right? It's not working for us at the moment, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think when the youth players come on, they just have a different muscle memory. They move differently, they support each other differently. The corner comes to nothing from Fulham and it's cleared away very awkwardly from West Ham, but it is cleared away all the way to the halfway line. And they move differently, and that's just exciting to see for us because it's sort of, I think, probably the football the vast majority of us would like to see played is the way the youth team seem to play when they come on. And I think that is sort of what we want, that injection of, and it's something that Benrahma gives us, right? It's something that we like to see in Benrahma, that injection of like, all of a sudden on the ball ability, taking people on, trying stuff, long shot, like stuff that's exciting to watch. And I think the youth team is significantly better at doing that than the first team is. And I think it's because they've been coached by someone else. They've been coached by someone who coaches that style of football, who's a bit more free with it, whereas David Moyes has a very regimented system, which is why David Moyes has succeeded as a manager in the Premier League and why other people might not, right? It's because he has that very regimented thing. He knows what he wants his players to do. He gets them to do it well. And at that point, he makes them hard to beat. That's fine. That's just a system of playing. One isn't inherently better than the other. I prefer the more attacking, fun style of football, but one isn't inherently better than the other. But I do think you see that, especially when they come on as a group, or you see a lot of them. Cambridge game is a great example, where once they all came on and we were essentially just playing the youth team, they moved in a different way, they played in a different way, they passed in a different way, which is exciting to see. It can mean they're a little bit... it can give Moyes probably time to think about it a second when he wants to bring them on, because he's like, actually, if I bring on Ekwe in midfield or Scarles at midfield or left back or whatever, if I bring these players on, Potts in an attacking midfield position, maybe they aren't going to do the work I need them to do for my formation to work, which is probably another reason why we don't see him a lot. But it's always exciting to see. I'd love to see it, but you know. X said Rice is at the game. Paqueta and Kera due back this week. Cresswell still feeling his hamstring. Antonio felt his fine training. Cornell has constant niggles. Interesting. First 20 minutes, I was happy with Emerson. Second 20 minutes, he's sort of stopped existing a little bit in an attacking sense. The more Fulham have got into the game, the less he's got forward, the less I've been happy with him. but I've not been unhappy with him. I've just not been as happy with him as I was at the beginning. At the beginning of the game, I thought he was playing well. He was getting forward well. The pullbacks were good, all that sort of stuff. But yeah. I'm not too upset about that. Although Cresswell is a significantly better player than him, and I really like Aaron Cresswell. I think he's been over the last 3 years one of our best players. But the Antonio thing is just a bit worrying. Cornet just is kind of whatever. What can you do about it? But Antonio is a bit worrying for me. Ogbonna with a very awkward right-footed pass there. That's fine to Dawson. West Ham passing it around between the centre-backs, looking for Dawson's big boot there, completely off time. 2 very mishit passes from West Ham in a row there. Dawson looked to sort of pump it, and it sort of ended up dribbling along the floor. Maybe he meant that because it landed perfectly into the feet of Jarrod Bowen, but it felt very off, and then Jarrod Bowen tries to just lay it off, turn, can't quite manage it. The summer signings hasn't worked so far. Skamaka and Paqueta underperformed, and Cornet. Yes, everyone has underperformed. I think I agree with you, huge one. I would 100% agree with you, but I would say everyone has underperformed. I wouldn't particularly single out the summer signings. I think the entire team hasn't worked. I think you look at it, Ben Rama has worked. After that, I mean, what more are you looking at? Flynn Downs has looked alright when he's played, and even then it's been mostly out of position. I you know what I mean? I don't think there's I don't think for me you just I look at it a bit holistically. Ooh, apparently offside, but it was a really nice play again. Ben Rama looking decent. It's easy to look decent in friendly games, especially if people aren't going full hog, which I don't think either team could be accused of going full hog today. Is that a phrase? I don't know. I'm going to own it as if it is. Neither team are going full hog. So it's easy to look good, but he has looked good. Don't think you can discount that. Oh, that's a good opportunity for West Ham. Bowen through, 1-on-1. Jarrod Bowen puts it away. 1-1. There you go. There we go. Just awful defensive movements from Fulham. It looked completely calm. It looked like it was dead in the water. Fulham had the ball. We were miles off being. It felt like almost a goal kick. It just was, right? Like, it was one of those opportunities where it's purely because of Fulham's awfulness. A poor pass from Issa Diop. We've heard that before, into the path of, I don't know who that was. Tom Kearney, who's now looking at Diop and raising his hands. Flynn Downs intercepts. It lands to the feet of Jarrod Bowen, who 1-on-1. Fair play. It's a nice finish. It's West Ham United 1, Fulham 1. And all of a sudden, Fulham have decided, yeah, you can have a goal, lads. You can have a goal there. We'll take that. It was a good finish from Jarrod Bowen. I was concerned there, 1-on-1, it wasn't going to go well. I thought it was going to be awful, but it's awful from Fulham. It is awful, and Flynn Downs does well. Jarrod Bowen with a nice finish. We'll be taking that one, ladies and gentlemen. Just thinking back, I could have gone to watch wrestling at York Hall today. That was what I was going to do before this game got announced. I was going to go watch RevPro at York Hall. So we better win now. We're on it here. It was an easy goal. Not going to lie. Rob's right. It was a very easy goal. But we take it. Let's go. Good work, Issa. And now all of a sudden we're fighting for it. Bowen finding himself out wide, tries to take on I think it was Tim Ream who, to be honest with you, just stood him up very easily there. But it was a poor pass from Diop. He tried to just pass it out to Tom Kearney, who was marked from Flynn Downs. And I don't think necessarily it would have been bad if Kearney had maybe zoomed towards the ball a bit more, but he sort of pulls up to sort of get the control. It doesn't really happen. Fulham are going to make a double substitution here with Mbabu and Dan James both coming on. Speed is coming on for Fulham, basically. But yeah, Flynn Downs does well to pressure him instantaneously, loses out the ball, lands at the feet of Jarrod Bowen, and we'll be taking that. Willian is the first person to come off for Fulham for Dan James. And then Mbabu is going to come on for Tim Ream at left back. Right, let's use this now. Let's use this to sort of press on from here. We've got that's a good opportunity now. 1-1. Good. Is that moving back? Okay, that's moving back. My timer is no longer accurate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that back ever so slightly because the timer is now 3 seconds out because I accidentally somehow paused the stream. I don't know how that's happened. Let me move from here. This is good now. We're looking on top. We're looking better. We're looking exciting. Pablo Fornals, that's a nice pass into Soufal. Tried to pull it in towards Thomas Souček, who was in the area. It's good defending in the end from Fulham, who managed to get the interception, but that was nice play. Pablo Fornals had all of the time in the world on the ball there. He seemed to collect the ball on the right-hand side, just opened it up, knew Soufal. Again, that's that muscle memory thing I was saying. He knows Soufal is going for that overlap run, and he just waited for the opportunity. Fulham playing it unbelievably dangerously at the back again, pressing from West Ham, instantaneously putting them under pressure. They've managed to deal with it relatively well in the end, Fulham, although Pereira's now under pressure from taking way too many touches. Oh, that is good from Pereira. Just nice close control, taking it round. That is calm from him. And they've come away with the ball in a good position there, Fulham. Fair play. And they've got to the halfway line, which means we reset defensively and then there's no more pressing. But I would say that it's that muscle memory thing. He knows Soufal's going on the overlap. So Fornals just waits, opens up his body, and then the pass through is perfectly waiting. And I didn't think Soufal was going to get there. I've also just realised I should have done this when we scored. We have a. Do you know what I mean? I have like a control. I can control the Christmas tree. I could have gone like, I don't know. We've scored. You know, I don't know. Just pressing buttons now, seeing what they do. It's red. It's twinkling. Anyway, that's my fun over and done with for today. Which one was I on? I was on one of these, wasn't I? Yeah, let's just stick with that. Could have done that. That would have been fun. Yeah. Greg, I'm not sure if it's on the radio. It might be. Check BBC Radio London if it is. I'm not sure. What I would say is it's on the West Ham website. You have to pay £5 to watch it, unfortunately. You could just listen to it there. And if there are any links, again, they would be available in our Discord, although I don't believe there are any. Slightly better in the second half, Ray. I'll say that so far. We've looked probably the better team. We're pressing them since we scored. We've looked a lot more lively, although again, Fulham are slowly taking control of the game as we sit deeper and deeper, as we're wanting to do under David Moyes. It just is what it is. But yeah, it's slightly better than it was. I will say that we're looking a little bit more lively. We've probably had we have had the best chances by far in the second half. Oh, Ben Rama does well there. It was never gonna. Let's be honest. In a heading race between Diop and Bowen, there was only ever going to be one winner. But it was a nice idea. Oh, Pablo Fornals does well, but he gets the out barge there by Mbabu, who then takes a second bite at, and it's going to be a free kick to Fulham. But he did well there. He's good, Pereira. He's been their best player today, I think, by a significant distance. No, I can see what you think. No, it isn't. It's like a little Robin thing. But I can see what you think. I wish it was. That would be fun, but it's not. If I had them, I would. If I would have had, I would have. I can hear the mini cheddars calling. Listen, Sab. If I can be so bold to call you Seb. If the chat are calling for Baby Bell like maneuvers, that's what's on offer today. We have mini cheddars. They're circular, they're cheesy. It's the best we could do. I did go to the shop last night in the intention of buying Baby Bells, but Tesco's and that shut at like 11, and I literally got there at 10:55, and they've just moved everything around in the shop, so I have no idea where anything is. So I tried my hardest to find them, couldn't find them, just got what I could from a food perspective. So if we're looking for something like that, I haven't tried pressing this button in literally over a month. What happens? Oh, it still zooms in on Danny. You'll love to see it. If it's there, then we'll give it a shot. If that's what the people want, we can try the mini cheddars. But that is the best we can do today, unfortunately. Throw in. Oh, that's a great opportunity. Ben Rama can't quite take it. Throw in from the right-hand side from Fulham into the thing. Diop can't quite get his head to it. It lands to the feet of Ben Rama, who goes for a sort of half volley. Let's say it lands to his feet. It landed about here. He just tries to half volley. It doesn't quite
Doesn't quite work out. Istiop just covering from Thomas Souček approaching there. 20 minutes left. It's looking a lot better for us. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say we were playing lightning or playing brilliantly or anything like that, but we're doing okay. We're doing slightly better now. We're creating the opportunities. We're looking the better team. We're looking a little bit more in control of the game. Not outwardly massively. It's not Pep Guardiola football by any stretch of imagination, but a little bit better. And the opportunities are coming because of it. Craig Dawson, maybe he didn't mistime that Blap earlier. Maybe it was just a pass because he's done the exact same thing as the feet of Bowen there. Or Reed, that's not a bad ball. To De Cordova, Reed who lays it off to Tom Kearney who hits it. He's not got a bad long shot, to be fair, Kearney. I remember looking into him when we were linked to him for years, it felt like. But that one, straight into the hands of Fabianski, will take up. Do you do this full-time also? We do have our full-time live review straight after the match, which will be happening straight after this. I'm not on that. That'll be Geo and Gonzo will be doing that. Just to give a different perspective, so we don't have one person doing everything, give a little bit more perspective on the game. And also, I make all the thumbnails on the channel, so they do the live while I go and make the thumbnail for the live. I put it up while they're doing the live stream. So we do have that to come. We do that for every single match. Every single match we do build up, watch along, and review, and preview, of course, in the week as well. And we also do score. We also do our player match ratings on the Patreon as well. So we have a lot of stuff going on in terms of match day content, if you want to word it that way. We have a lot of stuff going on. Only West Ham channel last year to have done a watch along for every single match. Just putting it out there. We were literally the only one who did a watch along for every single game. Even when I was injured and sick and had work and stuff, I still managed to do something for him. So, you know, I'm just saying, it's up there. We've only missed 2 watch-alongs, 2 games, since we started doing them at the beginning of 2020. So, I'm just saying, the most consistent out there. Gotten better, CW. Was bad. I do use Photoshop for the thumbnails, yeah. Self-taught, completely. Which is probably why, That's a great point, and we also talk about it on Two Spanners. Excellent point, Ray Borum. Thank you very much. Yes, it's gotten better, CW. There's been portions. The first 20 minutes, I was happy. Skamaka then went off injured. That's a nice pass from 5-4 now into the path for Sufao. Again, pulling it back. No one quite there, but pulling it back. I'm happy to see us doing pullbacks, even when they're not working, because we don't usually do them. First 20 minutes, we were good. Skamaka went off injured. We were awful for the rest of that first half. Second half, we've been better. I think we've been a better team. We're stepping on the gas a little bit. We're putting on the pressure a little bit. Very classic West Ham performance at the moment, where we need to go a goal down and take forever to start. But we're getting better. Would I say it's good enough, CW? No, I wouldn't. Not yet. We'll see how it ends up full time, right? As of now, I wouldn't say it was good enough. Second half has probably been good enough. First half was not. But we'll see how it goes. But yes, I do use Photoshop for thumbnails. I used to use Premiere Pro. But that's before I had Photoshop. Now I have Photoshop, so I use that. Yeah, it's going. I got some templates that I work with that I created, and then work around it. I don't know. It's a long. Maybe I'll make a video on it for the Patreon one day or something. I don't know. For those interested. Fair. No. Geo and Gonzo do Hammers Chat full time. It's part of my workload. I do a lot of different things. I'm freelance. I'm a freelance video and live stream producer is my technical job title that is on the CV. So I do lots of different things. So like do Hammers Chat streaming, editing, thumbnails as part-time. I do loads of other different bits and pieces. I produce live streams and videos for a lot of different people, produce graphics, stuff like that. If you're into video games and you know the video game channel Triple Jump, I edit a video a week for them, for example. I do loads of nonsense. So it's part of my thing. Yeah. But Geo and Gonzo do Hammer Chat full time. I have to go make a thumbnail. That's my excuse anyway. I also have to go make a cup of tea and sit down for 5 seconds and not be on camera. But yeah, it might be a bit better now. Who knows? Might be a bit better now. For those asking who scored, by the way, it was Jared Bowen, capitalising off a bit of awkwardness from Fulham. Ooh, whipped in, doesn't quite make it work. So I would say Bowen was the one who got the goal. A little bit of awkwardness from Fulham at the back. Issa Diop then tries to play it out. It doesn't quite work out. And good pressure from Flynn Downs, and it was a really good finish as well. Wilson's now going to come on for Fulham, for Bobby Cordova-Reid. Looking at their bench, by the way, significantly stronger than ours. Actual first-team players. We've yet to see a sub again. Now, 75 minutes in, we've yet to see another substitute. Who else is part of Hannah's Track Charlie? Is it three of... very kind of you, bro. Thank you very kind of you, bro, Darken. Well, we've got Ray, obviously, who does Two Spanners with me. I'd say Ray's part of the Hamish Chat family as well. We obviously have Rebecca, who does the audio. Her and Tom have obviously just had a baby. So they've just got married and had a baby. So their lives are a bit stressed right now. But obviously, Rebecca does the audio on the Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Hamish Chat if you want audio versions of videos. We usually do those all the time. But obviously, Rebecca's just had a baby, so it's a bit different at the moment. So Rebecca, I would say, is part of it as well. That would be here. We also, of course, have Anton Ferdinand. Need I say anything else? We do also have Anton Ferdinand, who does a weekly show, or it will be weekly eventually. It's a bit difficult at the moment because of the World Cup and everything going on. There's a lot going on, but we do have the Anton Ferdinand podcast, which goes up on that as well. And then we work alongside Jack Elderton and Cal Goodall from Analytics United on Hamalytics on the. I wouldn't say they're Hamish Chat because they obviously have their own thing. So there's that. I'll be honest with you, I don't know the name of the person, Leonardo. Geo deals with it. I can't remember her name for the life of me. She does a really good job. I can't remember her name for the life of me. If you see this, I'm very sorry. Geo has told me about 5 times your name, and I've forgotten every single time. I am sorry if you see this. But there is someone who does that as well. We're getting there. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. Also, whoever's talking about I can't see the comment now. Whoever was talking about watching Triple Jump daily, do Triple Jump are flipping great. I've loved Triple Jump for years. I love Peter and Ben. I think Ashton's great. I think everyone who does Triple Jump stuff's great, to be fair. I watched Peter and Ben for years since they were back at What Culture. Yes, Triple Jump are great. I've edited for them a couple of months now. It's been really good. I just do freelance editing for them. I do some of their lists that go up. I always retweet them with it. If it's my list, I'll always tweet about it. I've got a couple coming up for their end of year stuff. I've got 2 coming up for their end of year stuff that's coming up. So that'll be fun. But yeah, if you haven't watched Triple Jump and you're into video games, watch Triple Jump. I'm not really in any big. Ben Johnson's about to come on, by the way. So there we go. We're making a substitute. Is first team player. I'm not involved in any big way. I just freelance edit their videos. So I take that for what it's worth. So I can actually talk about Triple Jump from an outside perspective. They're great. If you're into video games, watch Triple Jump. But yeah, a couple months. That is me. That's all me. I run the OnlyFans. It's just pictures of me sort of posing with Danny in various compromising positions. I do edit music videos, Stephen. Yeah, I've edited a couple. Me and a couple of my friends have a production company, Solar Flare. I think our website is solarflare.co.uk, solarflaremedia.co.uk maybe? solarflaremedia.co.uk is what I'm going to say it is. Yeah, solarflaremedia.co.uk. You can see on there some of the stuff we've done, including music videos and that, among other things. Fulham finding their way forward. Realised I just spoke for myself for minutes there, and that was disgraceful for me. Johnson did come on for Emerson, so Johnson's on at left back, which is a decision, but at the same time, I don't think I'm against it. I think we lose an attacking intent, but we've not really had the attacking intent from left back for the vast majority of this game. Opening 20 minutes we did, but since then it's not going, so who knows. Jared Bowen scored for West Ham and Vinicius scored for Fulham. Fulham went 1-0 ahead. Jared Bowen got the equaliser. Vinicius with a header. Jared Bowen with a nice finish 1-1. I would... Oh, that's not a bad ball from Fulham. Fabianski comes out and claims it, and he takes out Ogbonna on the way, and he's down as well. Fabianski and Ogbonna are both down, trying to claim that. It was a sort of speculative long cross ball from the left-hand side. I would say I would be highly doubtful if anything of that nature was to happen. Of my personal opinion. I will say as far as I'm aware, there was interest when we first moved to the London Stadium. I don't know how true that interest is anymore. I can't really say too much more. I don't really know much. It's not a bad ball in from Kerry. He puts it into a really nice position, and Vinicius was there. We had to do something. Johnson was covering, Ogbonna was there, and Fabianski does come and collect it. They both seem to be up and Fabianski and Ogbonna have just sort of checked they were both okay and got up and got on with it. So it doesn't seem to be too deep, but that was a... I have that as well. I have 2 different channels as well on top of this. I have A Top Lad, which is my channel where I just do random videos randomly at random times. I haven't done any in months, but my last video about Waterloo Road just keeps gaining views for some reason, and I don't know why. I also have A Top Mark, which is a wrestling YouTube channel, which is coming back properly on the beginning of January. I'm taking Christmas off for as much as I can for everything. And then I'm coming back full time with the wrestling thing properly once I'm back from my holidays, and that'll be January 1st. But thank you, Wally. It's very kind of you. Wally's usually in my chat. He's a beautiful man, is Wally. Then Delirious will know. Triple Jump are great. Triple Jump are really good, man. They're one of my favourite video game YouTube channels. As is Cotaholic for wrestling stuff. But the fact that, yeah, I just applied for them to do freelance stuff, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. So that has been great and very exciting. I just finished one of their videos yesterday. 10 minutes left. Fulham have gotten more into the game the last sort of 10 minutes or so. It was mostly us, but it's starting to feel a little bit more like Fulham were going to score. I did say 1-1, so I feel like it's going to happen. I think Soufal's been all right, assuming that's what you meant, Ray, from these 3 messages. I think Soufal's been all right, to be fair. I think he's been good today. Good interception from Jarrett Bowen. I think he's been all right. I would have started Ben Johnson ahead of him, but I think he's been quite good today, Soufal, to be fair. There are ways getting cracked stuff downloaded from certain sites. Yes, but I pay for it completely legally. I could do it as a business expense, so technically. But yeah. Kearney has good opportunity down the left-hand side for Fulham. Lays it off short to Mbabu, who's going to try and put it onto his right foot. He is right-footed naturally, Mbabu, so he is going to keep pulling it back, like when we're playing Ben Johnson at left-back. Good defending there from Soufal, just bullies it out. Nice passing possession. Bowen, very deep. Bowen... what the hell was Jarrett Bowen doing now? I don't know. We've managed to win a throw-in off it incredibly deep. That was some dodgy-ass movements. He picks up the ball. It was some nice passing play to get it to him, and it looked like there was an opportunity to get it forward, but it just doesn't really happen. And then, yeah, I don't know, it was dodgy. Harris is going to come on for Fulham. I don't really know much about him, to be honest. He's number 38, so he's probably a youth player. I don't really know much about him. But he's coming off Tom Kearney in midfield. Substitutes-wise, pretty accurate is what I was thinking. Pretty accurate is what I was exactly expecting, which was first team subs only and no youth players. Yeah. Weird how that works, Scott, isn't it? You make subs, seem a bit fresher. You would have thought there'd be some sort of... But no, not in Moyes' head. Not in Moyes' head. Throw into Fulham on the right hand side. They take it quickly. I'd agree. I would agree. I think there's other ways you can do it. My girlfriend, for example, who does art stuff, uses Procreate to do drawing stuff, which is really good. I think Procreate's really good. You can get it as if you have like an iPad or whatever. I think it's only a one-time payment, and I've used Procreate for stuff. I really like it. It wouldn't be good for what I do for thumbnails, but it works really well in certain art stuff. And then what's that one? What's the other one? What's it called? I can't remember, but there's another online thing. There's also like Photopia, which is, I don't know if that still exists. It existed last year, which was basically Photoshop but for free on browser, which was surprisingly good. Again, not perfect, but surprisingly good. There's lots of different options. There's lots of different options if you're looking for that sort of stuff. Canva's not bad. I know a lot of people who make thumbnails using Canva, to be fair. Well, nice passing from Fulham, but it's a little bit awkward, that last one. They were trying to just zip it in towards Vinicius again. Again, their final third stuff. Oh, this is a great opportunity. Awful mistake from Tosin. Benrahma through. Benrahma has his good defensive work to pull it back. Benrahma, he's got Bowen there, late off to Bowen. That's an awful pass. It's so late. Opportunity wasted. Come on, make something of this. We're still in the attack. Souček from a long-range shot. Such a good opportunity. Yes, I do have a duvet because it's cold. That was such a good opportunity. All of a sudden, it just opened up, and again, Benrahma looked like he was through. We are going to see a youth player. Imagine the scenes. And it just had to slow down. Tosin flopped it, but it was really good defensive work for him to recover and stop him from getting further forward. Mubama's going to come on, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine the scenes alongside one of our other youth players. Sawyer's coming on as well. That was it should be 2-1. Should be 2-1. That's so annoying. Said Benrahma, who's, I think, probably a little bit frustrated. Should have scored there. Mubama coming on. And Jared Bowen coming off, and Sawyer coming on as well. Bowen there, not even looking at Mubama as he came on. Mubama went to sort of give him a little, like, sort of high five-ish type thing. It didn't work. Is that true? That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, you did. I've got a. I'm working on a video for my A-Top Lad channel that may or may not include AI, is what I'll say. It's incredibly dumb, but it might happen. We'll see what happens. I might not end up doing it, probably. No, it's more. I'll be honest with you. That's more youth players than I thought were going to come on, and for more time than I thought they were going to come on as well. So you know, I guess I will take it. Photopia is very good, yeah. For a free version of basically Photoshop, which is what it is, an ever so slightly more limited version of Photoshop that's completely free and on browser, I would highly recommend it. At least I did a year ago. I haven't looked at it since then. So we're looking at formation, but 4 miles is still out on the right-hand side. So basically what's happened, Lanzini's moved out into the sort of left wing position. Sawyer and Mubama are more as a sort of front two-ish. It looks like a 4-4-2 right now. And Sawyer's very active up front. They're the only two pressing. Dawson does well. No, nice 1-2 from... It was a nice 1-2 there from Fornals and Mubama, and it almost worked out perfectly. Mubama just didn't quite have the acceleration off the starting block to get there. They're looking lively since they've come on, I can't lie. Ray, I haven't cut my hair in over 2 years at this point. It's a problem. You're not wrong. I haven't cut my hair since October 2020. My hair is almost older right now than the pandemic. Like that's insane. Still, we've made a couple. Skamaka came off injured, right? So that was one. Johnson came on for Emerson in the second half, and then Mubama and Sawyer have just come on for Bowen and Benrahma. Souček nicely off. Oh, that's really nice play from Souček and Sawyer. Souček spreads out wide to Ben Johnson in a nice position. He has to come in onto his stronger foot. Just that little hesitation just wastes it a little bit. Not a bad pass. Out to Fornals. My stomach's going mad right now. Fornals plays it in. Header from Souček. Ooh! Forces Rodak into a save. It looked like the opportunity was a little bit gone. Ben Johnson ending up trying to play it out to Fornals. There's a little bit over here, but Fornals ends up putting in a good cross and stands it up for Souček, sort of in the middle of the park, who gets who hasn't scored in a long time from those sort of things, but it was a nice header back across the goal from a standing awkward position to get anything on that. Decent stuff. Decent stuff. Is going to be a corner. Fornals takes it from the right-hand side, played in, header from Dawson, but straight into the hands of Rodak. Now we're gonna see how much time is going to be added on very soon. It won't be long, I suspect. It is only a friendly. 30 seconds left of normal time plus whatever's added on a stoppage. They haven't announced it yet, but I suspect it will be probably 1 to 2 minutes max. Passing the ball around relatively casually in midfield and defence, but that's a bit awkward from West Ham there. Thankfully, we regain possession. Or we don't really lose it, but we regain control. And in a big hoof up the pitch from Fabianski to the halfway line. Doesn't really go anywhere. It is 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes of added time. At this point, I would ask you for your man of the match. Whoever you think your man of the match is, put it in the chat. I'll scroll down. There's no science here. I just scroll down whoever the most amount of people I see vote for. Just purely from a quick scroll eye test. Wins the Hams Chat Man of the Match award. So make sure to get involved in that now. And we'll give it one, because I feel like today's been a bit more substantial enough to be able to give one. So we'll lob that in. If you haven't already as well, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on future videos, because we've got tons coming up, including the live match review straight after this. So if you haven't already, make sure to get involved in that. I'm sure there'll be some interesting conversations from this game and what that means for the Arsenal game. And then, of course, we've got a preview coming up in the week for all of that stuff as the Premier League comes up, and we were back up with all of that good stuff. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and like the video. We did well on likes today. We did really well. We got to 223. We were very close. I'll be honest to you, 300. I mean, look, there's over 700 of you in here right now. There's 730 of you in here right now watching the watch along. So thank you very much. We were the only West Ham channel last season to do a watch along for every single game in the entire season, and we've done every single game bar one this season because I literally was. It was a bad day. I can't lie to you. But apart from that, we do it every single time. We're the most consistent West Ham fan channel where it comes to watch along. So if you're looking for that sort of stuff, even if it's just a way to come and grab a link where we have the Discord link and all that stuff, make sure to come back because we do them regularly. However, there's over 700 people in here right now. If we all like the video, we could hit that 300 mark. We're at 248 right now. So let's just see how close to 300 we could get. Because if we hit 300, that would be hilarious. I can't lie to you. Just over 10 seconds left. Let's have a look at the man of the matches. Diop. Sufal, Cornet, Pablo. It is full time, and it is West Ham United 1, Fulham 1. Let's have a quick scroll through. Ben Rama, Fornals, Diop, Cornet, Pablito, Cornet. Diop, Fornals, Bowen, Pablo. It looks like it's probably going to be Fornals. Thank you for. Wrong as per usual, but I'll take that. Thank you very much. Much like Rage Against the Machine, let's get Cornet man of the match. Yeah, we'll just give it Christmas #1. Downs, Diop, Hurst, Sufal. I'll tell you what, we'll give it Fornals. Fornals seems to have had the most, so we'll give it. Where is it? Hang on. Fair. We'll give it Fornals. Congratulations to Pablo Fornals. You got the most. There was a couple of close calls in it. It was almost Diop, for example. But congratulations, Pablo Fornals, winning the Hams Chat Man of the Match Awards. It does end 1-1. It is a sort of disappointing result. I mean, we did okay in periods. We did not okay in others. Not the most fulfilling game, but we will see how that ends up playing out when it comes to West Ham versus Arsenal in just a week's time. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, we just hit 300. Let's go. We had no right of doing that. So the fact we managed to do that is insane. Thank you very much. We should not have done that. I can't lie. That's very stupid. We should not have been able to do that. It's very kind of you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you as well to GP for the 2 super chats. Massively appreciated. Like the video. Subscribe if you're around here. All that good stuff. And stick around because Geo Gonzo will be live with a full-time review in just a few moments on the channel. So stick around for that. And thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you for the Arsenal game. But until then, come on, you irons. And I'll see you later. See you later, everyone. Bye.